There you go.
There you go. Are we good?
We're good.
All right. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It is another Technical Alpha podcast, Thursday, May the 30th. We're almost in June. June hath cometh. 2019. You know what I did last week, Jeff?
What? Just keep talking because we're getting this.
We're getting a blue screen for no reason. Oh, good.
Plugged in, too.
And then also your 5M is crashing.
It's all good. Just keep on talking.
I'm going to keep on talking while you figure out the blue screen issue, which happens once every 3 weeks with this capture card.
Yep.
I'm about to buy another capture card.
Yep. I don't know why it does this, but it does.
Yeah, I don't know either. You might have to go into like the thing, the actual like program,
Yeah, this.
and set it to like click it off of DVID.
Boom.
All right, well, that's not 100% what we need right now. You know, if we were doing a rave or something,
All right. Okay. Try this again.
there.
Oh, it's a little better, but it's not. Let me unplug it and plug it back in.
What is my one arm gray? What is happening?
Don't even ask.
What?
Don't ask.
How is that possible?
Just go with it.
That's worse.
That is absolutely worse.
Wait, okay, you have the HDMI plugged into the DVID converter.
Yes.
Is that DVID converter like half like jingling out the back of this thing right now? Like take the whole thing out and back in. Cause that shit cray.
You guys, you may have a seizure.
Seizure warning. I think our capture card is dying.
I think so. I'll completely unplug it.
In fairness, this capture card is 8 years old.
It is old.
It has been around the block, but why did it have to be today?
Oh, it's definitely toast.
All right, hold on 1 second here. I just want to make sure it's not like, no, it's not this end of the cable. All right.
I'll unplug this again. Plug this back in.
Oh, wait, yeah, it's off. Okay.
There we go. It's not as bad, but it's still bad. Technical. We have some technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. For some reason, our capture card, for the first time ever, decided to basically shit the bed. So there's that. It's not dying. It's dead. It's not looking good.
Hold on.
Oh, it's fixed.
Hold on. I can do this.
All right, Adam looks like he's fixed this.
I can do this. It's just going to be a little
Yeah, a little wonky.
it's just going to be a little washed out, I think.
That's all right. We got to get a new capture card.
There we go.
All right, there it is.
Magic hands.
Magic hands.
Let me just make sure this is all good. Yes.
Make sure there's no glare on this, because that's annoying. There we go. You're good.
All right, let's I'm going to restart my spiel. You don't have to like press the button,
All
redo
right.
everything, but this is just for the RSS feeds.
Go for it.
Actually, wait. I'm going to clap really. Everyone mute for like a second. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is Thursday, May the 30th, 2019. And as I was saying before, we had to mess around with capture cards and everything else because ours is dying. And so if it looks a little awkward this week on YouTube, as you're possibly seeing right now, that's why.
All right.
Yeah, if anyway, last week I said 2017. That's what I was trying to say before all that went tits up.
2017?
Yeah, I didn't catch myself last week.
2019.
And then last week, so I'm looking at the comments or whatever, the comment section, and somebody was like, I wish it was 2017. I was like, what the hell is this guy talking about? Go back and sure as shit, I said 2017.
Happens.
Pretty good.
It happens.
But it's 2019, Jeff. It's another Technical Alpha podcast.
Yeah, we're off-centered a little bit, but,
Are we off-center a little bit?
Yeah, just a little bit.
All right, like, to what side? Do you need to go to your side?
I can do it. Just keep talking.
Just go to your side just a little
What
bit.
a gong show.
This week's just been a shit show. It's Technical Alpha.
We gotta go this way?
Okay. And then a little like, yeah, that's, yeah. Right there. Yeah,
That looks a lot better.
looks good to me.
Looks pretty good.
Got a little bumped around
We
in
got
all
you.
the hazards.
We got you.
Yeah, it's No Tech Off podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Holy crap, welcome. If you're joining us on YouTube or otherwise, bless for tuning in as always. Lots of stuff happened this week. And some stuff, as has been happening for the last couple of weeks, like happened 20 minutes before I left the house to come here to do the podcast. So we've got a pretty full and complete list this week for the podcast.
Big shout out to all the new viewers here today. It's one hell of a shit show to start off.
We really made a big push there when you were leaving the RP server. Like, hey, we're going to come over to this and join the podcast.
Come on over, join the podcast, and then
we gave them seizures.
Yes, I'm sorry. Don't sue. We gave you a warning, seizure warning.
Seizure warning. Yeah. So let's just jump right into it because we've just wasted 15 minutes setting all this up.
All right.
Death Stranding happened. Trailer dropped here the other day. Hideo Kojima continuing to confuse absolutely everyone in the world with whatever the fuck this game is going to be. But it doesn't matter because it looks good.
I didn't even see the trailer. I saw somebody on my Facebook basically cream their jeans about it, and then I thought it was a movie at first because the thumbnail made it almost
It might
look
as
like
well be a movie. It's Hideo Kojima. Remember Metal Gear Solid is 90% cutscenes?
Yes.
I suspect it's probably going to be pretty similar.
I wasn't even angry at the fact that it was 90% cutscenes because it was
they were
good. It was a good time.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Exactly. So they dropped in. This is pretty lengthy. I mean, there was a lot to this one, and there was a lot more dialogue and a lot more kind of character involvement there. So, but at the same time, you still have no fucking clue what the hell this game is really about. Like you have like an idea, at, like a very awkward idea at best. And he posted he sent out on Twitter a tweet here following the trailer. And I think because I think Hideo Kojima might be like on like some other universe shit, and we're all just on his world. And so he needed to come back down to Earth to talk to all the plebeians to let them know, what exactly the fuck this game is supposed to be about, at least in like some sort of high concept level. So he drops this picture on Twitter that has a bunch of text on it. I'm gonna read it for you right now.
Sure.
So it said, people have built, and these are in quotation marks, walls, and become accustomed to living in isolation. Death Stranding is a completely new type of action game, where the player's goal is to reconnect isolated cities and fragmented societies. All elements, including the story and gameplay, are bound together by the theme of strand or connection. As Sam Porter bridges, you will attempt to bridge these divisions. Wait, hold on now. Of course, his last name is Bridges. Divisions, and in doing so, create new bonds or strands with the other players around the globe. Through your experience playing the game, I hope you'll come to understand the true importance of forging connections with others. Now, please enjoy the latest Death Stranding trailer. And then he dropped the trailer, and everyone was like, "I'm still confused, Hideo, but that's okay because you're a god."
Yeah, I'm watching some of it right now.
Yeah,
pretty looking game.
So you know what engine this is on?
No.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Ooh. Oh, it's very Horizon looking now.
So if you see, and specifically when I saw it, and I was watching the trailer in the back of my mind, I thought it might have been. There's something about the Horizon Zero Dawn engine that, like, when it comes to facial animations and like teeth specifically, it's like a really fucking. It's like the signature of that trailer of that engine is it's like Uncanny Valley fucking over the moon. But like that engine is really fucking good.
Yeah,
I mean Horizon Zero Dawn is still, to me, the best looking game on the PlayStation 4.
Oh, it looks amazing.
It's ridiculous.
I watched you play like maybe 2 or 3 hours of it one night, and it. Not only that, the gameplay.
The game is also just dope.
Was like it was high. It was high octane, but at the same time, it wasn't. It was like this. It was like the moments of battling and stuff was like you were in it, and then it was almost peaceful when you weren't. Down. Yeah, when you weren't doing it, it was nice. It was a nice mixture.
Dude, the game. It's my favorite PlayStation 4 game by miles.
I'm gonna have to play that eventually.
I still think,
I'm gonna have to play it.
I still say that it is the best game that console has.
Damn.
Yeah. I'll stake my reputation.
How many people in the chat agree with that? That's a heavy
A
statement.
lot
I
of
mean,
people are going to say God of War, but this game's better.
yeah, because I haven't played God of War, so I don't really know.
I played through about half or so of it.
Yeah, you weren't feeling it.
And just not very pretty game.
Yeah,
and probably the best voice acting on the console. But like as a whole, if you compare the two games, I think a lot of people would just be looking at God of War with like rose-tinted glasses. You know, they've had that whole series leading up to this, and it's like Kratos in his final, like whatever the fuck. And Horizon Zero Dawn is the only game in the franchise, brand new intellectual property, came out of buttfuck nowhere. Guerrilla Games drops it, and it did well. Like people like appreciated it, but because it was so new and it wasn't like a known thing, it kind of like faded away. And I don't know how many people even think about it. But I'm telling you, when E3 comes around and they announce Horizon Zero Dawn 2,
I was gonna say, like, there's got to be they got to definitely be doing a number 2.
Bro, the
right?
story at the end has a fucking
cliffhanger?
plot twist that. And
all
like
right.
Shyamalan-
Don't tell me because I
don't want to spoil it for anyone.
Yeah.
Because if you have a PlayStation 4 and you haven't played Horizon Zero Dawn yet, especially if you have a PS4 Pro where you can play like run it better.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's the engine it's on, and you know how that came to be. He went out to visit Guerrilla Games. Hideo Kojima went out to visit them, and they already had like this like fucking fancy gift box and handed him the engine and said, "Go for it," because he's a fucking god.
They weren't like, "Yo, give me some money."
No, they were here. Take this shit,
make a game,
and make some dope shit with it.
That's
it's
dope.
Hideo Kojima.
That's dope.
He's got. You look at the cast in this fucking thing.
Oh, I know. It's got
Norman Reedus,
from Walking Dead.
From Walking Dead. Fucking Mads Mikkelsen is the other leading guy.
There's a heavy cast.
Fucking Guillermo del Toro's a freaking character in this game.
I didn't know that. Damn.
So I mean, there's it was like Hideo Kojima unleashed from his binds, and just went and found all of his super friends and decided to make this crazy ass
Not
game.
even mad. Not even mad.
Yeah, I'm very interested. I think everyone's interested in just knowing what the fuck this game is supposed to be. Where you got Norman Reedus with a baby strapped to his chest walking around the world. It's just a crazy concept that only Hideo Kojima could come up with. So that happens. So you can watch the trailer and probably be confused. And people are going to be dissecting that trailer probably from now until
For a
E3
while. Yeah.
when we see like the next round of stuff, trying to see all the little hidden, you know, what can we eke out of this thing. So that'll be fun to watch.
Cool.
Let's see here.
What else we got going on? I guess you do this real quick.
Oh yeah, go for it. We've got lots. Well, here's a big thing that happened this week. Pokemon. My God, they had an entire event to announce like 4 different new things that they were doing. At least 4. I think there might have even been more than that. They had like this entire live stream set up to do an announcement. They brought everyone out, like anyone pretty much that's been involved in making Pokemon games was at this event to kind of outline what's coming for Pokemon over the next couple of years. They announced a ton, so I'm going to try and like cover some cover it on a high level, talk a little bit about each, but the VOD for that live stream is obviously very easily available, and you can go and check that bad boy out. Pretty extensive stuff, but we'll start with Pokemon Masters, which is a mobile game. There's a couple of mobile related things that were talked about here. In fact, most of it was mobile related because we already know about Sword and Shield, which is the next mainline Pokemon games coming.
Which actually looks pretty dope.
Which looks pretty dope.
Yeah, it looks
honestly.
pretty dope.
So Pokemon Masters mobile game has players fighting alongside franchise favorites like Brock. And in the trailer they had for it, Brock.
You can play as Brock?
No, you're like alongside. So you're
okay.
like fighting with them, and it's kind of it's one of those. I don't want to say it looks like a gacha game like on mobile, but it's just a traditional mobile game experience type thing, right? But you're playing alongside the series like Misty, Brock, the usual, like all the way up through. Brock like goes fucking Super Saiyan in the trailer.
Looks
and
like The Rock.
The shirt just like busts off of him. And he's just jacked out of his mind.
You know who Brock always reminded me of? Always reminded me of the dude from Saved by the Bell, the Mario Lopez. Like whenever I thought of
Slater,
that's
the show.
that's it. The show.
Yeah.
I don't know why he always reminded me of him. Like even when I was watching Pokemon at a younger age.
But Slater was actually suave, where Brock was just a fuckboy.
I suppose maybe it's just all of Brock.
Well, Brock wasn't a fuckboy, but he was like.
But he was still kind of like
he was so desperate he never got the girl.
Yeah, that is true.
He's
like he's like got the Yamcha type personality.
Yes,
where he's trying to get the ladies all the time.
Except I think Yamcha just had Yamcha was like that, but with an inflated like sense of being good. Which, in fairness to Yamcha, he was good for at least like 4 episodes.
Yeah, and then he was
in
just
Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
And that went all tits up pretty quick after that. This is all
Dragon
downhill.
Ball.
All
Shots
downhill for
fired.
Yamcha.
Shots fired.
For sure. But that's kind of what that's about. Again, you can get more details on that. It looks, for a mobile game,
It looks good.
great. Probably the biggest announcement that this little event had for a lot of people was Pokemon Home. And Pokemon Home takes the kind of the concept that they had with Pokemon Bank on the 3DS.
All right. I've never played that.
So Pokemon Bank was like more of a service where you could like send your Pokemon from like different games, different Pokemon games or whatever to it to like, I think it was like change between games or whatever the fuck. Anyway, Pokemon Go, or Pokemon Home, I should say, mobile app that acts as basically a repository where you can send Pokemon from a series of games that you might own and have Pokemon from all of them and trade between them and get the Pokemon in other games or with other people around the world. Not just friends nearby. You just fucking apparently anywhere. You're probably going to have a friend code or some shit because, it's the way it goes. But it allows you to basically just kind of commingle all of your Pokemon that you've had over time. Or maybe you have, like from what I understood anyway, maybe I misinterpreted it because it was very, kind of corporate-y. But it looked like, or the way they were talking about it was like, you have Pokemon that you played with in these games that you like trained all the way and you have like these attachments to, and maybe you want to bring them into this other game. We can do that now, kind of thing. So it's like you just blasted through this entire your Ash Ketchum. You have a Pikachu that's more powerful than fucking legendary Pokemon, and you want to take them into the next game because you don't want to have to go through the process of training another Pikachu. You can do that now. And so the games that
wouldn't that ruin the experience though? Like when you're playing the other game, because usually in these types of games you kind of progress with your Pokemon unless they have a leveling system that goes by.
There
how
might be some sort of scaling or something.
Yeah, because
or
that was the fun of starting a new Pokemon game is you start at level 1 and then you work your way up and you evolve them. Now if you're gonna switch over your already evolved, like say you've already beaten one of the Pokemons completely. You've got like 10 Pokemon that are just like level 70, level 80, smacking bitches. It would be really, really weird if you could just transfer that into the other game, and the next thing you know you're stomping everything for the entire game. So there must be some sort of scaling system that whatever your Pokemon that you have in your Pokedex, the game scales based on the level that you're at. I don't know. I mean, that would have to be, or it would be pretty whack.
Yeah, I think they didn't go that far into it. So I don't know what their plans are with regards to how that's going to work. Either way, people were very excited about them. And the games that they have listed that are going to work with it are Pokemon Go, the upcoming Pokemon Sword and Shield, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu. Those were the two more recent games as well. And then Pokemon Bank, like I mentioned, which was on the 3DS.
Yeah.
That's coming early 2020. Next up, they are redoing or like an updated version of Detective Pikachu, which was a game before the movie, and adding a new ending and making a couple of changes to it or whatever. It might be to like coincide with the movie more, I guess, maybe, I don't know, but that was something they announced. They are partnering with NetEase, which is like the second biggest fucking online game publisher developer combo in the world. They're breaking into the Chinese market with NetEase with Pokemon Quest, which is kind of
man, Pokemon is just coming out with.
Dude, this was an entire Pokemon event.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, this is huge. So they're into China. Everyone wants to get into China because, as we said every week, as somebody else tries to break into China, 170 million or more? No, more than that.
A lot of people.
There's a lot of people for mobile. The market was massive. So. So it's a clickerish type game with timers, like a lot of the free-to-play games and stuff on mobile. Like, you can only do so much without paying, and then if you want to speed the process up, now it's time to pay up.
Or wait 24 hours,
exactly.
Play again tomorrow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a concept like that for them to
Which is fine.
To do,
I actually don't mind that.
No.
It's like, it's one of those things where
Because really, it is up to you. You can just wait.
You can wait or not. I mean, it's a free-to-play game.
You could have like 3 of those games, and by the time you've gone through all 3 of those games,
the other one
timers
is down, and now you can just kind of do a complete loop.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, you want to farm your games on phones.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so it's another one of those, you know, you can decorate, you know, a space, and you can upgrade things and the whole, you know, usual shebang. It's kind of a cute aesthetic, like cube-like aesthetic that they've got going on. But it's interesting, and that's what they're trying to break into the Chinese market with. So
cool.
Good luck with that, because breaking into China right now is tough.
Well, it just probably costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
You have to probably buy your way in.
Yeah. And, well, the upside for Pokemon is there's no blood or anything crazy like that, so they don't have to go through most of the hula hoop you know, things that everyone else is going through.
Yeah, it's pretty PG.
Here's the meme that came out of this event, and the title of the podcast this week is called Pokemon Nap instead of Pokemon Snap, because they have a game, and I'm not trolling you right now, it's called Pokemon Sleep. Pokemon Sleep.
Pokemon Sleep?
Now, before I tell you literally anything about this, and don't look at the chat in case they actually talk about it, I want you to just, I'm going to have a bite of my donut. I want you to just give me an idea of what you think the fuck Pokemon Sleep is going to be.
I'll tell you what I'm thinking, and I'm hoping it's not what I'm thinking. Are we talking about just watching Pokemon sleep?
Not necessarily.
All right. Are we taking pictures of Pokemon that are sleeping? On some weird voyeur shit?
That'd be called Pokemon Stalker.
Okay. Well, you said it's Pokemon Nap, right?
No, it's Pokemon Sleep.
Oh.
I just made the Pokemon Snap joke where it's Pokemon Nap.
So you have to go to sleep with the Pokemon. You have to put them to sleep.
We're getting there. You're getting warmer.
Put them to bed. Put them to sleep in the Pokeballs.
Well, we're all right. We're getting away from you were.
All right. They got to take a nap. They got to take a sleep.
I think you're hung up on they.
I got to sleep. Oh my God! Is this a game that I play while I'm asleep? Are you serious? Are you damn serious? What is it, tracking how much I sleep? And then Pokemon, I get Pokemon based on that, or they level up depending on, what is this, like the Fitbit of Pokemon?
But sleep.
No. It's a hard no. I'm not buying that game. Motherfuckers want you to play Pokemon all day, and then they want you to play Pokemon when you sleep.
Oh my God, dude! Watching this event, you should watch that segment.
No, I'm not gonna watch that because I'm gonna get angry at Pokemon.
Just to see them like talk about like how they got to this point and like their logic process to get to oh my God. So basically,
what a shit show.
Basically, they were like, look, Pokemon Go made being outside and active, fun again, is basically what they were saying. Which, they're not wrong.
No.
People were walking off of cliffs and into traffic. I mean,
people were dying.
People were dying.
Literally.
They weren't used to the outside.
Yeah.
It happens. So they're not wrong in that regard, but it was still kind of funny to hear them say something so bold, right? And so they said, our next challenge for Pokemon that we want to tackle is making, we spend, how'd they say this? We spend a lot of our lives sleeping. How can we make sleeping entertaining?
Dreams.
Yeah, the body's got that covered already, but what if you connected a peripheral through Bluetooth to your phone that tracked your sleep and then rewarded you in the game based on you getting a good night's rest so that you can be rested up to go play Pokemon Go the next day? What if we did that, Jeff?
Don't tell me they actually said that.
That's exactly what they said.
They didn't say that part. They didn't say so you're rested to go play Pokemon Go.
So yeah, it was like, look, but you have to be rested to be able to go and do this shit.
This is fucking stupid. That's just so fucking stupid. Why couldn't they just say, you know what, we're trying to We're trying to get gamers to get a good night's sleep. You know, we're trying, but instead they're saying you get a good night's sleep so you can play Pokemon Go in the morning.
Pokemon Go in the morning.
No, it's a hard no.
So
it's a hard no.
So here's what I found. The meme gets even better. With Pokemon Go, you know, they had the Pokemon Go Plus little clip thing,
yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay. If you could say there was one thing that Nintendo isn't particularly good at, what do you think that might be?
Targeting adults.
I actually think they're not terrible at that.
Oh.
What if I said what was wrong with the Wii U, other than pretty much everything?
Okay.
The name, a lot of people were like, "What the fuck are you calling this the Wii U for? This might be one of the dumbest names I've ever heard in my entire life."
It was a pretty dumb name.
Okay. They one-upped themselves.
For what? We talking Pokemon still?
Yes. The Wii U is not the dumbest name that the company...
Oh, what now?
Or
we're talking about the device that you're going to use now?
Anyone associated with the Nintendo.
Right,
which
here we go.
Pokemon isn't technically Nintendo, but it's fucking Nintendo.
It's Nintendo.
Let's
It's
be fucking
Nintendo.
Let's be fucking honest.
Yeah.
Okay. It's called the Pokemon Go Plus Plus. It's called the Pokemon Go Plus Plus.
Wow.
Who the fuck is paying these people in marketing?
2 pluses. Hey, it's the Pokemon Go Plus Plus. I mean, it's one of the dumbest fucking things I've ever heard.
So it's Pokemon Go with a symbol plus and then plus written out next to it. So at least it isn't like C++.
Okay, so it's just plus, written out plus.
Yes.
No. That's what that is. It's a hard no for me. It's, now fuck this.
That's so bad. When I heard him say that, I was like, that can't be right. And then I saw the thing come up on screen, and I was like, oh,
it'll make $1 billion. It's all good. Don't worry about it.
It's another one that basically, it will actually work with Pokemon Go as well. So it does everything the Pokemon Go Plus thing does, but it also works with Pokemon Sleep to track your shit
That's
there.
where they get the plus plus.
The plus plus.
Mm-hmm.
So, here's how I look at this. Okay.
Go plus plus.
Niantic and the Pokemon Company and everyone else is really getting a lot of traction on basically with Pokemon Go tracking wherever the fuck you walk, whatever stores nearby, wherever you might stop. There's a lot of useful information. Where you live or whatever, where you spend the most time, etc. So there's a lot of data mining that can go on with Pokemon Go.
Yes.
Now they want to data mine your sleeping habits.
Great.
On top of all of that.
They're going to sell all this information and make even more money.
Yes.
They're going to know where you're going.
They're going to know when you sleep.
They're going to know when you sleep, when you wake up, where you sleep, how well your sleep is. Are you a light sleeper? Are you a heavy sleeper?
All because under the frilly and fluffy Pokemon name, they're not idiots.
No, fuck no.
They
know what they're doing.
I mean,
man.
they can't name a peripheral to save their life, but everything else,
they're doing right.
They're doing right.
Yeah. I mean, it's not right, but they're doing it right. They know what they're doing.
I'm waiting for 2 years from now, the Pokemon Plus Plus Plus.
The triple. How about just plus
cubed?
That's a better name.
The Plus Cube.
The Plus Cube. It's a better name than Plus Plus. So stupid. Anyway, fuck Pokemon. What's next?
So that happened.
It's too much Pokemon.
That was. So there's a lot of Pokemon that happened there.
Man, I didn't.
A lot of Pokemon that happened there. Next up, Last of Us.
Ooh.
Part 2.
Yes.
Delayed.
Ooh. Ouch. I didn't hear that. Rip.
Delayed until 2020.
That's not terrible.
February. So only a few months.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I don't know if this is like a polished thing or they just looked at the release window in the fall and went, maybe we do avoid this one.
Maybe they know something we don't know. Maybe there's something going on for releasing.
Well, there is a fair amount going on in the fall. It always is.
Yeah.
But, I mean, and we're going to talk about some stuff here probably here. And then I think E3 is also going to show a lot.
We're probably going to know what's going to happen
fall
at E3.
Fall is traditionally a busy time anyway.
Yeah.
But there are some heavy hitting titles. So that was just a little quick thing there.
All right. Well, at least it's not like delayed a year or some shit.
Yeah,
you know?
no, it's not anything major. Usually when they delay it from fall into the spring, it's quite literally for the sole purpose of avoiding
Yeah, they want an empty
titles.
slot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like the movies.
Yep.
What do I have here? Oh, George R.R. Martin, the busiest non-writer in the world, has apparently been consulting with FromSoft, the company who brings you Dark Souls and other titles, of course, on a game where he and their writers have been collaborating to create a world for FromSoft to make a game in, which, honestly, sounds pretty dope to me.
You want to know what I think of that? Now, FromSoft, Dark Souls, right?
Yes, Dank Souls.
Dank Souls. There's two problems. All right, or not problems, but concerns. Okay.
Is George R.R. Martin's blood pressure one of them?
Okay, 3 concerns. George R.R. Martin's blood pressure is definitely one of them. My first major concern is, can Dark Souls actually make a story game? Because they haven't shown the ability to do it.
Well, it doesn't mean that's Dark Souls. It could be a totally different thing.
There's no way. It's definitely gonna be a Dark Souls-like game. There's no fucking way.
It'll be Dark Souls-like.
Yes.
So you're talking with the genre?
The genre of Dark Souls.
All right, now,
sorry.
Okay, now
I
I
don't
get you.
mean Dark Souls.
Oh, okay, because that's what. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean the genre. I mean, they've been making these games. We know what.
You know what you're getting.
Yeah, we call it a Dark Souls-like game,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Now I get you. Now, okay.
So they haven't shown the ability to tell a great story. Now, just because George R.R. Martin is a great storyteller doesn't mean that I have any confidence in the fact that they can actually portray the story, because what they're good at creating bosses.
They're good at world building.
World building. They're making the game difficult and making it look nice in the process. They haven't shown the ability to make a cohesive, to make even the story something people care about. And it's not because the writing's bad. It's just that they're so ultra focused. It's like John Wick, right? John Wick has shown that they can tell good stories in number 2. But number 3, they just gave us what they're really good at, and that's the fighting and combat and all that shit. Dark Souls has only ever shown us that they're good at the fighting and combat and shit. What's going to happen if they try and make a story and make it intertwine with what they're good at? Will it take a hit on what they're good at? Will the story even be portrayed in a good way, even though they got a good writer? The other thing is, my other concern is, and this is an even bigger concern, is I feel like right now, hiring George R.R. Martin is nothing but a publicity play.
To be fair, apparently this is like a couple years back.
It doesn't matter.
But mentioning it is obviously publicity.
It's buy this game because George R.R. Martin is an amazing storyteller, creator of Game of Thrones.
Well, not that they need a lot of help to sell games, because everything they put out sells a shitload of copies.
Exactly, but I mean, I feel like it's a. I'm not saying you don't hire him, but I feel like it's nothing more than a tactic, and I'm not sure his storytelling is going to make the games any better. Right? That's what I'm looking at. I would just prefer, honestly, keep making your shitty storytelling games. I'm sorry for the ones out there. It's like, well, you just didn't dig, and you just didn't read.
Well, there's the balance between there is a good story and good characters and good world building. It just isn't told in a way that is easily digestible by 90% of the people that play it.
More than 90.
Then there's like the small percentage that will go and read every item description and play.
That's not good
dots.
storytelling. That's not good storytelling. That's not. That's it's just not. I'm not saying that the story isn't.
Well, it's actually just not storytelling.
It's just not storytelling. Exactly. It's just
it's breadcrumb leaving.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
The game is about fighting bosses. That's what the game is, right? It's kind of like Godzilla that just came out. People are like, oh, the humans are shitty, the story's shitty, but the monsters are fucking incredible. Well, that's what we're there for. We want to just see incredible monster fights. Just like Dark Souls. Stop trying to be something you're not. Just create harder games. Make the bosses harder. Go and hire Del Toro to create really cool bosses. And that'll get me more excited than George R.R. Martin sprinkling story that you're gonna fucking put to the side unless they're completely changing the way they do things. And if that's the case, then that'll get me intrigued.
Yeah.
But I don't see it happening like that. I think they're just going to use it for another tactic to sell more games.
Yeah, I'm still interested in it because if Martin's involved, Martin is at least marginally picky about how whatever he's involved in, if he's
Yes.
going to write something,
Yes.
how it's delivered.
Yes.
Otherwise, why the fuck?
But
is
he's
he
not a
doing it?
video game guy. So how is he going to know what is delivered properly or not? You know,
Well, I don't think there's a hell of a lot of difference between a movie and a video game in terms of how something is delivered at the end of the day.
Well, I mean, I can make the argument
Because most of it's cutscenes.
Well, yes, but at the same time, we've seen a lot of video game to movie adaptations that are they're just not translated correctly. It's just not. You know, you take a George R.R. Martin thing that is meant for.
I actually think it's easier to tell a story in a game than a movie because you have more time.
I don't. Personally, I think there's a much more bigger gap in between what's happening. I mean, it depends on the game. I mean, if you're looking at something like The Last of Us, that's a story driven game. It's a even with the clicking of the buttons like click X now and triangle, you're literally quick time events. Dark Souls is not that. So a Dark Souls like game is not.
Well, Dark Souls in
story-driven.
general is not what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I mean, Dark Souls is a video game.
Yeah,
but like the difference between let's say a television series, which is usually better than a movie because you have more time.
You just have more time.
And then in games is similar. The difference is that instead of watching a short clip of an action scene or something like that, that's like the main characters. It's like Lord of the Rings. The main characters going from point A to point B.
Yeah.
You know that the major plot points are likely to happen at point A, point B, and then there are elements between point A and point B that are moments that they have to overcome some sort of hurdles in their way. In gaming, that all you're getting there, the hurdles are enemies,
yes,
puzzles, things of that nature that usually are part of the world that build out the world that enforce whatever happens
next
at point B.
Yes.
So with Dark Souls, though, the way that they've delivered story is largely through how the world looks. So it's kind of passive storytelling. And then through the item descriptions and whatnot, and then sitting there and theory crafting and connecting all the dots between everything that you possibly could, and coming up with some semblance of a thread of the story in the game. But like you said, the majority of people aren't necessarily playing it for that. They might like the aesthetic of the game, the designs
bosses,
and stuff.
It's the difficulty of it.
And then the difficulty attracts a lot of people because they like to be able to
challenge
themselves or say that they got through it. But if Martin gets involved, I have to assume a couple of things. One, I would be, unless Martin is just doing the world building aspect of it, which I don't feel like FromSoft really needs all that much help with. So unless they're just interested in a George R.R. Martin take on what that would do, that they could put their game in, I feel like we might be getting something that isn't necessarily a traditional Souls-like game. I'm sure that it's going to be combat-wise a similar experience, but if Martin is involved, I would suspect that we're going to get a little bit more direct storytelling in like a traditional game sense instead of the passive storytelling that Dark Souls
would
is
have
usually.
to be. But I also fear that if they do keep the Dark Souls-like vibe and make it really difficult, because the game is so difficult, getting to the next area for the continuous of the storytelling, whether that's through cutscene or through character development or whatever, it'll become progressively more harder to get to the next place, which means you're not getting a dose. You're getting a clump of storytelling, and then you're going potentially 8 hours of no storytelling at all, just grinding till you beat it, and then now you're getting another segment of storytelling, and now it's more grinding. So it's not as cohesive and not as impactful. And not only that, some people just don't even finish these games. They're just like, fuck this.
Of course.
This is just too fucking hard. So I think what I would love to see with George R.R. Martin is, for one, I just love to see him finish Game of Thrones, because all this other shit is whatever.
He's already said that he's planning on that book being the
next one
Winds
is like
of Winter
next year,
or whatever is like next year.
Yeah. But what I would love to see if George R. was doing it is if Dark Souls is creating a game, said, here, George, this is our world. These are our characters. Consult us. What do you think? They give him the story. They give him this. And then he just adds a flair to it. He gives his
I think
his
probably
ideas.
what's happening.
He gives his ideas. His this is a really cool character, but this is how I would do it.
Yeah.
This, and then they can have the option to either use what he's saying and implement that, or maybe he can add more to the world.
Yeah.
And then they can just continue to make what they do.
Yeah.
That's what I would like to see.
I think that's probably closer to what is actually happening. I think it is just a consultation. He doesn't have enough time to sit down and like actually hash out a game alongside of them.
No.
So consulting is almost certainly what's going on there.
But hey, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. But I just hope that what my biggest concern was, I hope that Dark Souls doesn't try and be something it's not. Because I like Dark Souls like games because of what they're like. And it would suck to see them change that unless this is a totally different, it's from the same company, but a totally different game, right?
Well,
like a totally different
That's what it's probably what we're getting towards. So it'll be, we right now it's only known as like if they have a project name, it's Project GR, and it's been in development for apparently 3 years now. That does we don't know if that just means that they've been like writing or just setting up or actually developing actively for 3 years, but it's been 3 years. The project's been running for 3 years. It's an open world title, so and it includes horse riding for the open world. So that already tells you that the world itself is done a bit differently than a Souls-like
It's got to
game.
be bigger.
Yeah.
Maybe it's more like Shadow of a Colossus.
Collaboration between Miyazaki and Martin, published by Bandai Namco.
So since it says collaboration, it might be more of what I just said.
And that's what I mean is I think that and that makes sense because we know that Martin doesn't have all that much time, although he likes to spread it thin anyway. Apparently we're going to be getting an official announcement at E3 during the Microsoft conference.
Hey.
So we're going to get more in a couple weeks.
Cool.
We're going to see it all come together.
It's actually starting to sound like a pretty stacked E3. There's a lot, especially with the new consoles coming around.
Just not technically at E3.
I'm just going to keep calling it E3.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because it's happening the same week.
Same week.
So it's E3 week.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Speaking of E3, I'll jump ahead what I had in the list here just to add this in. There are some hints that Fable 4 might be making an appearance at E3.
Okay.
And the assumption is coming out of the fact that for a brief moment, it was briefly listed on Mixer's game list. You know, your drop-down menu of when you're typing in a game that you're streaming. Mm-hmm. Somebody noticed that it was in the list. So, you know, when Microsoft does a conference, they tend to stream on there. So they might be setting that up in the background to stream like a little Fable 4, whatever, right? That's a possibility.
What a leak that was.
Yeah,
planted. It's a little seed so that somebody could pick up on it and then start writing articles.
And in this age, it's really hard to tell what was an honest to God mistake, which absolutely still happens. Obviously, somebody's going to slip up.
That was
somewhere
like Avengers
sometimes.
when Avengers tickets went on sale, or before they went on sale, they started uploading it to a cinema website, and then it said how long the movie was.
Exactly.
But nobody had released that, and it said 3 hours 2 minutes. We were like, oh, is this that? It ended up being that.
Exactly.
They just wanted to leak a little bit of info to get people talking, excited, so on and so forth.
So it's really hard to sometimes to tell, especially with leaks. What's a leak, an honest to God leak, and what's been planted.
Oh yeah, most of it's planted.
Most of it's planted these days. But either way, that seems to be a possible hint that Fable is coming back around. I wouldn't mind seeing Fable come back. Fable was a franchise I always thought had a lot of promise that it never quite managed to reach its full potential. Fable 2 is definitely the best in the series and got the closest to realizing it.
There they are.
Yeah,
got Fable 1, 2, and 3.
It's a brand. I mean, it's all British as fuck, right? So it's painted in every way as a British experience, for better or worse, whether you like that stuff or not. And it was just even when it was bad, like Fable 3, even when it was bad, it was still it was still a decent game to hop in. Like John Cleese was the fucking butler in 3. Like it was still like there was fun to be had. So if they could find a way to make better use of that IP, I'm on board. Peter Molyneux's no longer there. That's probably going to help too. The guy, I still never forget him going out on stage, E3, talking about the first Fable, about you get hit with a sword and you get scarred. It's for life. Your character's carrying that shit. He's going to age.
It was just
growing beards and shit. And I was like, oh my God, this sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Of course, I was like...
Then the game comes out.
Young and naive, and nobody really knew how crazy Peter Molyneux was yet.
Crazy.
And then they found out
crazy.
that he might be actually a little crazy. at least a little bit. Which I think when you're in game design, you might have to have just a touch.
I mean, you got to be a little weird, right?
A little weird. When you're in art, you have to be just a little. You have to have a touch. Otherwise, your art is boring.
Anybody
as fuck.
that's successful is a
little crazy.
And you got to be a little crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be crazy.
You got to
right?
turn the knob up a little bit.
That's it.
Test the waters. Let's see if there was anything. I don't think there was anything else E3-ish before I get off the E3 topic. Nope. Here was a little bit of fun. Artifact. That game that just
died.
Still just.
They shut it all down.
It left this world as fast as it came in. Just in and out.
They went ghost on their social media for months. Like, they didn't say, dude, straight up, they went ghost. They said nothing. And I remember I was streaming, this was like 3 months ago. I said, what the fuck happened to Artifact? Went on their Twitter, they literally went ghost. People were bombarding them on Twitter, like, what the fuck? What are you doing? Is this game, you guys making? And then eventually they just came out with a statement. Did you read that statement?
No,
like,
I didn't see the
statement. They came out with a statement like, oh yeah, we want to apologize. Obviously this did not go the way we wanted, and blah blah blah. They were shutting down a whole bunch of stuff, and they're going to re-release the game or as a completely new thing. Apparently, who knows if they're actually going to do it? But they went. I think they went ghost for like, it was at least 4 months, but I think it might have been like 6, where they didn't say anything anywhere, nowhere. People were just like, what the fuck?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
They came out and said something. Why? What's up with that? What's up with Artifact now?
It's more on Twitch side of things with Artifact. Did you hear about this?
Oh, with the porn?
Yeah. So Artifact dying so hard and people so all over the map with it, it turned into a bit of a meme. And then a bunch of people started to use Artifact's section on Twitch to just do whatever the fuck, because nobody was streaming it, and it was like, it just turned into a joke to do it. So it spiraled out of control pretty bad. Where people were just streaming hardcore pornography, sporting events, movies. I'm pretty sure somebody played back the one of the recent shootings, the guy that recorded himself
Jesus
live
Christ.
doing that shit. Like it got deep. Where people were just doing that all the time. Like it got to the point where people had set up bots to just kind of like set up an account and just start streaming. And so eventually Twitch got around to it. And yesterday, and then I think maybe a bit of the day before, they started actively working on it. They had to shut down the ability for new accounts to even be able to stream.
Saw that.
While they worked it out. And, if there's an upside to this whole event, it's that Twitch was finally forced to say, okay, if you're going to actually stream on this website, we're going to need you to enable two-factor authentication to try and reduce the amount of just bullshit accounts and people doing stupid shit on here.
That's the way it should have been anyway.
A fucking
dude, I'm gonna go even further. I think every goddamn user that wants to
2FA.
talk in a chat, 2FA enabled.
Exactly.
That reduces harassment, trolling, all of it.
It might not eliminate it,
I shouldn't say eliminate.
It reduces
it. Will reduce it drastically.
Yeah,
drastically. It's too easy to create accounts. It's too easy. But yeah, I mean, at the very least, you would think that you needed 2FA anyway to be a streamer on the platform, of all things.
There are a couple of places that just like Twitch. When it comes to accounts, Twitch has made it way too easy to abuse the account system on the website.
That's bad.
Basically, since it was the inception of Twitch.
Yeah, I think they just wanted to make it super easy for anybody to just hop on and take part.
They didn't want to gate.
But now, since they have made it at the highest of levels,
now it's time
to tighten it up.
To tighten that
right?
ship
Because
up.
people want to be on. You've created such a demand.
Yeah.
They're going to go out their way to use 2FA. They just meant to make it count.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, there have been like Russian porn bots on the site now for like 6 months that just randomly every now and then they'll crop up and they'll just be streaming hardcore pornography.
Yeah. Yeah, it's bad.
In like the IRL section.
It's bad.
Or some shit. It's pretty gnarly. And that one was bad because actually when somebody mentioned, I think I mentioned this on the podcast, this was like weeks ago now, but like to speak to the security of Twitch in general, I was live streaming or whatever, and somebody came in and went, oh shit, here we go again. There's hardcore porn being streamed IRL. I was like, bullshit. There's no fucking way they're still doing it. And I go into like the browse page, go to IRL, and I'm looking, and none of the thumbnails are looking like anything porn.
Yeah.
None of the titles really looked like too much. And I saw one that like looked a little suspicious. Didn't even have that many viewers, but I was like, this is the closest thing. Clicked on it, sure as shit. That was the one. And they had it set up so that anyone who clicked on it your channel was hijacked and it would auto-host, even if you were live. And so for like 5 minutes, my channel got hijacked and was auto. Even though I was still live on OBS, everything was running, and I didn't know. I went back to playing my game because I was only there for like a hot second, and then I went back and I was playing. I was talking to chat, and then the chat was like, and I looked up, and because I only look at chat every couple minutes, I look up and the chat was like, I wonder, does Adam even know what's going on? I was like, what are you guys talking about? Like, you've been hosting porn for like 5 minutes now. And I went, what the fuck?
Oh.
And I look at OBS and I'm still streaming and everything's like, nothing has changed.
Oh boy.
And I take down my stream or whatever, and then sure as shit in my chat it shows. I have like a screenshot of this somewhere. It shows like exiting host mode or whatever.
Wow.
And I was like, fuck. Twitch, your security on your site sucks some balls.
Wow. I've never heard of that. That's crazy.
Yeah. So they've got a number of things that they might want to tighten up the belt on a little bit on that.
Yeah,
one.
the 2FA thing's a great idea. I mean, at the very least, for if you want to stream on the platform, that just makes total sense.
Yeah. I was still fucking streaming.
That's crazy.
OBS was still fucking running, and I was just blissfully playing my game and no fucking clue. I look back up and chat's like, yeah, by the way.
That's crazy. I mean, you wouldn't get in trouble for that anyways.
No,
but
it's still
nothing you could do.
But
right?
all it says is like, how fucking secure is your platform?
Not very secure.
When you can hijack a host when they're live.
Yeah. Damn.
It's fucking wild. Yeah, it's a big yikes.
Speaking of Twitch, since we're on the Twitch thing, did you hear about their new thing that got leaked, that they're beta testing?
Sub-only streams? I did hear about that.
So
what were your thoughts on that?
That's a big debate that's been going on right now. I haven't publicly said anything about it yet because I do have...
Jeff, I have to ask because everyone's wondering, and I have you here now. Can you say anything about your thoughts on subscriber-only streams on Twitch?
All right. So yes. So before I do, I've been seeing.
My timeline's actually been quiet about it for the most part, surprisingly. Usually my timeline blows up when Twitch stuff like this happens.
Mine wasn't. I wouldn't say it was quiet for when it got news. Not everybody, but most of my timeline was that. Okay. It's quiet now.
Yeah.
But I'm sure once it actually gets announced,
it'll blow up.
It'll blow up.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, Twitch has been apparently, allegedly, we don't know for sure, but it seems like this is happening. They've been beta testing out the ability for a streamer to stream in for only subscribers. So you can boot up your stream, it's live, but you can click on it, but you'll just get a screen that'll says like, subscribe for $4.99. This streamer is streaming privately for subscribers, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So the only people that can see it are people that are paying $4.99 or more, whether it's $4.99, $9.99, or $24.99.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen mostly, I say 85% of people hate the idea. They hate the idea because they think...
Not that they ever have to use it, but...
I know, but they hate it because...
Yes.
They say if you use it, you're basically killing your growth, your stream. You're not allowing people to view your content. You're supposed to be a content provider that does everything for free if they want to do it or not.
Sure.
They think it's
so when you say everyone, do you mean non-streamers or streamers?
No, we're talking... No, I'm talking about the people that I heard vocal
who are
about
hating.
it.
Yeah, who are hating.
Streamers were hating.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I haven't seen much. I seen people like when the streamers were tweeting about it,
talking about it. Yeah.
I seen what the people were saying, and some people were like, "Yes, I agree." Other people were like, "No, that's not it at all." So yeah, they were saying that like it's a great way to kill your stream, yada yada yada. Here is my take on it. I don't know how you feel about it, and you can share, but. My thing is, why not have the ability to do that?
Mm-hmm.
For one, you don't have to use it.
Mm-hmm.
So for probably 95% of streamers, they'll never touch it. They just won't do it.
Yeah.
It is true. For most streamers, if you are streaming that like that and that only, your growth is pretty much non-existent. Mm-hmm. Unless you're bringing a community, say, from YouTube or another social media platform,
right? And
you're catering just to them, and you don't care about growth. You want to just have a show for them specifically that people kind of already know your deal. Fine. So it's probably not going to be good for that. But this is why I think it's a great idea. Not just a good one. I think it's a great idea. Number one, there's several reasons. Number one is more options is always better. Period. As a content provider, more options is great. So the fact that Twitch is not forcing you to use this, then I don't see a problem with it at all being a thing.
Yeah.
Secondly, it allows somebody to almost create a show that they want people to pay to watch. So if you say, for example, this podcast, say if we didn't want to stream this podcast for the public, we're not interested in growing the stream a traditional way. What happens if somebody like Roleplay, for example, that has a big time
Critical Role?
Critical Role.
Yeah,
yes, that's what I meant. Critical Role. They have a big time stream and they want to do things a little bit more formal, like almost like an HBO, almost like a Netflix, almost like a pay to watch type format. I know that's be a bad idea for those that are watching. I'm just giving a hypothetical here. I'm not saying they should do that, but I'm just saying if they go, hey, you know what? Maybe our regular show is open to everybody else, but we have a Patreon type supporter only show or a subscriber only show where we do things a little bit different, or, you know, for a Sellout Sunday type thing where it's a closed off show. Maybe a streamer takes the weekends off and they go, you know what? I'm going to take one of my days off. I'm going to stream only for people, and it's going to be a subscriber-based only stream. I'm going to play games with you. You guys run the show. I saw some good ideas of some streamers that might, you know, I seen a girl streamer say, you know, it'd be a good opportunity for me to put on my makeup and have a coffee and talk to people before I start my actual day. Something that I do in privacy by myself, but maybe I'll open that up for people that are supporters. And it makes it a little bit more intimate. Instead of having a subscriber-only chat, you only view it for that. Sure, that'll bring in some extra money. Probably people will want to be part of it. They feel like they're missing out. I think if you're only using that for that specific reason, like, oh, I'm going to get more subscribers if I only do this, then that is a dumb idea. I think if you're doing it for specific content, then it might be a great little tool to have. But yeah, I personally don't see an issue with it. I think it's going to be great for events. So say if there's an esport event that want people to pay only. Am I crazy,
or at some point, or am I thinking of MLG's website and not Twitch?
It was MLG.
Was MLG that gated it?
I do believe,
or just gated quality.
They gated quality. Right,
yeah,
so that's what it was. Okay. I think, or yeah, I think they gated the quality, or they gated the VODs. One of the two. I don't remember.
Or both.
Or both.
But I think it was MLG TV that did that.
Yeah, they needed to make money, right? So
yeah,
they just gated it.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is, if used in a way to just get money, and you're not doing anything normal, like say if I was streaming Grand Theft Auto, and I'm like, oh, you know, today I'm just gonna do $4.99 only mode. Well, that's stupid. That's fucking stupid. People are gonna get angry. You're gonna lose fans.
But that's not the fault of the thing. That's just a bad idea.
That's just a bad idea.
Yeah.
And I think that's what most people were thinking right away. Like, oh, you know, what happens if Summit starts doing this $4.99 shit?
Which is not going to happen.
No, I don't think you're ever gonna. He's not stupid, right? Unless it was something very specific that he was doing it for. But beyond that, I don't think you're gonna have to worry about any of that. I think it was it GOM TV? Might have been GOM TV. Yeah, GOM. I think it was both. I think fucking MLG did something very similar. But yeah, I'm not against it. I'm not against it. I think it's a cool little tool to have. I think it's going to be great for people that typically don't stream on Twitch to bring a show over there where they're bringing their audience in and they don't care about the growth. Then they can broadcast it and make something, or even play a show. Maybe you create really great machinima, or say, for example, whatchamacallit, say Cobra Kai, for example.
Right, yeah.
Instead of releasing it on YouTube, what happens if they go, hey, we're going to release an episode on Twitch via $4.99 gate every week, and as long as you're a $5 a month subscriber, you can watch the show at any time.
And I think that's one of the things that this is going to end up being used for, because Twitch already in the past brought us Twitch premieres.
Yes.
Where you can schedule an event where you show a pre-done video.
Yep.
to your subscribers or to whoever your followers and whatever on Twitch on a timed schedule. And so if you combine that with this feature, you've essentially just created an on-demand channel for creating more like bespoke content.
Yes.
Specifically for that format. And so that is probably some of where they're trying to take that. I don't think that they've come out with this with the idea of the traditional streamer in mind.
No, I don't think so.
I agree with you that there's nothing wrong with anyone who just comes out and blasts this is fucking stupid, because they're a streamer and they don't understand that, or they haven't come up with the idea in their head that they don't have to use it, and then they're an idiot. B, it's a viewer who thinks that their streamers are just suddenly going to turn all of their streams or the majority of their content into sub only, in which case they also don't understand.
And it would be good for them, because if they're not going to use it and everybody else is going to start, that's great news for the streamer that's not using it.
Exactly. Everyone's just going to come on. Everyone's just going to come on over.
These guys, I'm going to watch the dude that's not being a greedy cunt. Yeah, exactly.
So I don't think that that anyone who really people cannot like the idea of it. But hating it that it exists is kind of silly, because it's not a forced thing for anyone either to use or be part of. Yeah. It's like a completely optional tool that can be utilized for some pretty specific content. I agree that it makes sense insofar as doing something like, and I talked about this on my stream when we were discussing it, so you hit on a similar point, where it was like pre-stream, you're having your coffee. This is already a thing some people do. They go into the IRL section, because they're just waking up, because as a streamer you can't even have a fucking breakfast before you go live.
I eat breakfast every day on the computer. Yep.
So you turn it into pre-stream into a sub only little intimate thing. You have a little chat more directly with people. It at least gives you the opportunity to have a better chance of doing that. Incentivizes people to be subbed if they're the people that are subbed or want to be subbed and are the most active members of your community. And then roll into your normal stream.
Yep.
Open it back up, and you're done. What I'd like to see with this is that you can do it on the fly from the dashboard when you're already live.
I'm pretty sure you can.
I don't want to see it where you have to restart your entire stream.
Yeah.
Because that would be, I think, a little... Then it's still a usable product, but it isn't as flexible as it would be, and would be way better. What I also... The cynic and fuckboy in me looks at this and says... You know what this also kind of like sends itself towards the idea that in the next couple of years Twitch is going to have like a R-rated section where it's anything goes, and as long as you also set it to sub only, that's age gated, because now you're age gating it plus paying for it.
That's true.
Into fair ball territory.
Fair game now.
And it's now we're literally my free cams.
Yeah.
Except it's not free, it's my paid cams.
Yeah. No, I agree. You know what else would be a great idea?
What?
Say if there's people out there, coaches, people that teach, yoga instructors, anything. They could say, hey, you know what? I'm going to be doing a live workout that you guys can follow along with, helping people out with this, and that. I'm going to be doing a course, literally a schooling. You want to learn C++?
Yeah.
$4.99 a month. All the VODs will be available. Class starts 3 times a week.
Easy peasy.
As long as you're $4.99. I mean, there's so many great ideas that you could do with that. And once again, I think it's going to lend itself nicely to people that aren't typically gamer streamers, but people that can use it for content that they're creating specifically for the $4.99 a month, and that people have access to, and only access to.
Exactly. I mean, Patreon has something like this for that purpose, where only people that are Patreons or patrons can see. You can do live streaming through a sister service that Patreon has, but obviously that's not usually the best place to host that stuff.
Yeah.
So Twitch having that is good. I think YouTube would be wise to try and implement something similar instead of trying to just like put that all behind YouTube Red or whatever fucking weird.
Yeah.
They keep changing YouTube.
They don't know what they're doing.
They just keep changing.
They're just throwing shit at the wall.
YouTube changes shit for the sake of changing it, so they don't even know what the hell they want to do. But it would be wise for them to maybe hop on that as well, and just instead of trying to like irk out a monthly thing into some people, have like an on-demand thing or whatever, 99 cents, boom, done, you're in, kind of thing. and just have it, hooked up. You have a credit card hooked up. You have a PayPal hooked up, so you don't have to go through like a cart every
literally
time.
click a button,
just boom,
done.
Yep.
Kind of like a Twitch Prime thing.
And
click
that would be, and that would I think be probably a wise move, and it would probably be wise for Twitch as well to try and like streamline that process as well, streamline the subscription process as best they can, and continue going that way. The thing that I guess makes this a little awkward is, I don't even know if it's awkward, but like gifting subscriptions on Twitch as it stands, if you're in the middle of like running one of these and then you're somebody like myself, for example. So let's say I wanted to do, before I do a stream in the day, I'm doing cooking, or I'm like working out or some shit, whatever I'm doing before. And I'm setting up a sub-only thing, and I'm one of those channels where I have I have like 5 or 6, 7 times more subs than I do concurrent viewers at any given time.
Yeah.
And so when somebody gifts subs, 90% of the time, they're people that aren't even there in chat at the time, just some rando person.
Yeah.
And so
one of your followers.
One of your followers usually, but like there's
they usually pull it from your followers list.
I have like 30,000 followers. I can tell you right now, the vast majority of them haven't rolled through my channel in a long time.
No.
But also then just people.
What's nice, I think they give you a notification now when you've been gifted by somebody.
Yeah.
Even if you're somewhere off on the site.
Yeah, you get a notification.
They tell
but
you,
just as well, if somebody just walks into the stream. And they just get gifted a sub.
Yeah.
And then the next time you do a sub only thing, well, you're not really catering specifically to your most targeted audience.
Yeah.
You're also catering to, when you have a cocaine dealer who gifts 50 subs in a stream.
Yeah.
Some random people. So it doesn't work perfectly in that regard.
No.
But it's pretty friggin' close.
Yeah. I mean, that's whatever.
It's pretty friggin' close. Let's see. Micro with the super chat of, speaking of small, how about the DDP sub only stream at yoga? It comes back once every while. Whenever I decide to work out for 2 days in a year,
it happens.
It happens. Oh man, where in the hell was I in this list? Oh, here we are. Overwatch is adding game replays, Jeff.
Wow.
Took a while, but we got there.
Wow.
So that's a thing. I don't, that will be a big help to people who are in the content creation space for Overwatch. That's fucking massive to finally have replays available.
How many people are actually in content creation for Overwatch, though?
Not a clue. Well, I can tell you one guy got the fuck out, and it's the guy who basically created the Overwatch League. The commissioner, Nate Nanzer, has now been moved on. He's saying goodbye to Overwatch League, which he basically fathered, and he's the guy who brought it to Blizzard and said, "Hey, how about we do this? I think we can make this work." And then put together a super team that put together, for all intents and purposes, as boring as Overwatch might be to me, Overwatch League is probably the tightest run ship in esports right now, and the closest thing to a truly professional environment that exists.
Yes.
So he did a fucking bang up job in the short period of time he pulled that off. But he's moving to Fortnite because that's where all the money is. Fortnite also doesn't have really an esports scene right now. They do, but it's loosely an esports scene. So I suspect Epic looked at him and had a conversation and said, "You literally crushed this over here at Overwatch League.
Yeah. How would you like a truck of money?
How would you like this giant truck full of money, cocaine, and hookers?"
Yeah. And the arena is over in Vegas. How about we get you a penthouse?
Easy.
Right in the motherfucking Alexa or wherever. I don't
Lexus?
know. I don't know where it is.
The Lexus. The
Lexor.
The Lexus. There's a Lexus parked at the back of the Lexor.
There you go.
And
it's
you're in
yours.
that.
Yeah,
it's
yours.
now.
It's yours. And you can have the whole penthouse. It was owned by Chris Angel, but now it's yours. Go ahead and
the Mind Freak Suite.
Yeah, just go ahead and create
I need
something.
a Chris Angel 4 television show again.
No.
I need some of that.
Dude, it's so bad. I went back and watched some clips of that not too long ago.
It's bad.
And it's so acted, the actors it's so staged and it's so bad. It's bad. It's so bad. TV was so bad then.
It was definitely something. We also had super chats from Darko, thank you, and I missed one other one before we get too far ahead. I think we really missed one way back.
I think it was Micro again.
It was also Micro? All right,
yes,
well, thank you, Micro,
sir.
again. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. So that's the thing. So that's great news, likely for Fortnite, because he obviously crushed it at Overwatch. So I really could not possibly care less about Fortnite, but I am interested to see if this guy can pull a double-double. Can he make the magic happen twice?
Well, good news. Fortnite is managed to string themselves back to almost no competition again because Apex is dead.
That's actually next on my list here.
Oh, okay, great segue.
Solid segue. Apex Legends revenue is down to $24 million in April. So not even this month, but April. So it's trending way down. And I'll tell you how much it's been trending way down because, it feels like it's been out for a long time. We're just, I think, edging end
5
of month.
months?
Have we even hit 5 months yet?
Be
Search
pretty
up
close.
real quick what the release date for Apex was.
Pretty close.
I gave the game 3 months without fixing their shit before everyone just decided that it was dead. And
February 4th. So
March, April,
May, June.
3rd.
No.
March,
April, May, June. It's June.
Yeah, but June just starting doesn't mean the entire month has gone by.
Well, it's not, it came out February 4th. We're like
so the entirety of February, the entirety of March, the entirety of April. Oh yeah, no, the entire May. So
4 months.
Yeah, okay,
It's
4
4
months.
months.
Yeah. So 4 months. So 4 months have gone by. And in April they pulled down 24, and that is 1/4 of their launch month. And that was in April. It's gotten a lot worse since April.
It's died hard.
So I'm going to
then.
say it's definitely not been 24 million in April in May.
Hey, you know what? They made their money, man. They made a fuck ton of money. There'll always be people that'll play the game to some degree, but man, they went and fucked their game hard, dude. They had it. It was like watching Realm Royale, but at the highest of stakes.
Yeah, it was Realm Royale, but people that actually knew how to make a video game.
Yes. No, that's literally what it was. It was like, damn, you had it all. You had it. You were just like, dude, people were sucking your dicks.
Yes.
They were leaving Fortnite. You had every big streamer
they had so
off
much.
Fortnite's dicks. It was to the point where they started, like, the streamers started getting cocky. You know what I'm saying? Where they're like, they're Fortnite streamers, right? And they've been playing Fortnite now for like a year plus.
Smack talking.
They start
Fortnite.
talking shit. They're playing Apex. They're like, yeah, fuck. They're like, fucking shotguns and Fortnite's garbage, man. It feels good to actually play a real, blah blah blah. They started talking shit. They get cocky.
That's bad.
And then now they're all on Fortnite again. They're all playing Fortnite again. Yeah, you know what? Oh, they made that last patch that Fortnite team
really fixed it up good.
Really fixed it up, guys. Yeah, really fixed it up. Yeah, no, they started talking shit, bro. And now
it's bad.
Now they got checked.
So so Apex is getting bodied right now, pretty bad. And there still isn't a hell of a lot, on the horizon. There is the next battle pass. I don't know what's in it. If it isn't another map or like 2 new heroes, or we don't need any of that. Just give us a game that doesn't have so many fucking hackers and problems. That would be a good start.
That'd be a great start.
So we'll see. But for now, Apex is super dead. And like we said last week, I think we're both on the same page. You know who's ultimately going to come out at the other end of this alive? Fucking PUBG.
Fucking G, bro.
Yeah.
They were in the trenches just doing their thing.
They're Francis Ngannou in fucking Cameroon, Cameroon. No, what's the name of the country he comes from? Cameroon. Cameroon.
No, is it Cameroon? No, I think it was. It's in Africa.
It isn't.
No, I don't know. I forget.
I'm just an ignorant white guy.
It's all right. I'm an ignorant black guy. So
I just can't remember how to pronounce the country's name. I can't remember if it's Cameroon or Cameroon or what the hell it is.
And Francis Ngannou.
My geography is showing.
Francis Ngannou. He's from Cameroonian. No, he's.
It is two O's, right? It is 2 O's.
Yeah,
Cameroon.
2 O's.
Cameroon. Okay, so I was right.
You're right.
Okay.
You're right.
All
You're
right,
not
that ignorant.
No, you're not that
well,
ignorant.
that's good.
Just a little bit, though.
Just a little bit.
Dude, he's apparently only 32. That man looks like he's 45.
Well, when you were digging ditches in Cameroon for
There's no
the vast
way this
majority
dude
of
is
your life.
32 years old, man. I just think
Like-
everybody's like, everyone's like, we know you. Everybody truly thinks that he lies about his age because nobody really knows how old he is. So he's just going by 32.
You know what, dude?
He looks 40.
If he's 40 and he's built like that, who fucking cares
Who gives
how
a
old the
shit?
guy
He's a brick
is?
shit house.
We just need to teach him to not be scared of fighting,
Yeah.
and he's pretty much unstoppable.
Well, he's back on the wagon, so he's doing well.
That's true.
He's doing well.
You got to get it, Cameroon.
But yes,
Yeah.
PUBG has been just doing their thing, and it's going to still end up being
James Cameroon.
James Cameroon. It's gonna be. It's straight up gonna be Fortnite and
I think
PUBG.
it's gonna survive.
Oh fuck it!
It's
Dude,
gonna come out the other side.
Oh, straight up
in one piece.
Straight up.
They're slow and steady. Not because they chose to be, but more because I still don't think they have the most adept developers in the world. But they're getting there. They keep slowly just adding to the patching it. Tightening up the experience. Just getting it all, and I think it's going to survive and get out the other side, and it's going to be Fortnite and PUBG, and then everyone else, below.
Everyone will be like, whatever.
That's crazy.
You want to know what's crazier? Realm Royale is still creating content for the damn game.
Where's the money coming from?
I actually don't know. I actually don't know.
Are they pulling money from like Smite and dumping it into?
They literally must be, because I remember back in like September, I'm like, this game is dead by November at most. November comes, the game's pretty dead, but it's still trucking. And here we are coming up in June. And the motherfuckers are still releasing shit.
That was like I see them pop up on my Twitter, and I'm like,
there's no more than 200 people
who is paying
watching
you?
the game. Yeah, where are you getting the money?
Where's this coming from? I'll never know. You never know. It's a drug cover up. It's like that pizza shop in Spryfield that was there for like 30 years. Never once had a customer.
It's got to be a drug cover up.
It's got to be a drug cover up. Never saw one car leave to deliver pizza.
It was like a Chinese place that not far from there either. I'd never seen anybody in there ever.
Which is a new place now. That's actually a restaurant.
Oh, okay.
But the other one was 100% drug cover.
You just never saw anybody in there, bro.
Not one car went through there.
I wouldn't be surprised if we went in there and be like, "Yo, can I get a number 3?" Be like, "Yeah, we don't sell food here.
We actually don't have any food.
We don't actually have food. There's no kitchen."
Oh my! There was some place I actually did never walk into. I was like, I kind of low key just want to walk in
to see what the fuck's
who's
working
going
here.
on. Yeah.
What is this place?
Let's see. Okay, so what else you got? That was the Apex shithole. Oh, speaking of Epic, Microsoft threw some shade towards Epic.
Oh,
threw some shade.
Okay,
it wasn't even low key. Microsoft came out and said that they want to bring more games to Steam because, and this is like a quote, because people should be able to choose where to buy their games.
Oh, come on, Microsoft. Come on. You're not going to ride that hate train. They're trying to get some brownie points.
I wasn't a fan of it. I was just surprised that they did this shit. Because here's the thing. Microsoft's own store is literally the worst storefront possibly ever.
Yes.
And so, of course, they need their games on other platforms because they can't even get people to use their own.
Nobody's going to buy your game on your platform.
Exactly.
Period.
So throwing shade at
somebody,
this platform that came out that is barely even a platform with a shopping cart that is still used more than yours, and you are the fucking multi-billion-dollar corporation Microsoft.
Sucking Steam's dick, bro.
That out there sucking some Steam dick.
Sucking some Steam dick. In bed hard with Steam. Like, we can't do this.
Man.
It's only a matter of time before Microsoft games are going to be available on the Epic launcher, bro. It's only a matter.
That'll happen there too.
Oh, it's only a matter of time.
And then they'll be able to say, well, people should be able to choose where they buy their games.
We told you guys, and don't worry, this game is only going to be exclusive on Epic for 6 months.
Microsoft first-party title exclusive on Epic for 6 months.
God, bro, you know it. You fucking know it, dude.
Halo coming first to Epic Game Launcher.
Oh my God, for the first 6 months. Oh, could you imagine the world at that point? My God, it would fucking explode, bro. Oh my God.
Oh, it would be so fucking good. Now I kind of want to see it happen just for the fallout. Some people just want to watch the world burn, Jeff.
Hey, man. Sometimes I'm in that mood too.
Exactly.
Sometimes I just want to,
just sit back and watch the show.
Just watch the Gong Show ensue.
Call of Duty. We talked about last week how Activision axed Sledgehammer games, and it was basically down to like Infinity Ward and Treyarch.
Mm-hmm.
So we already talked about how there was a good chance that 2020 or whatever was Black Ops 5 or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
So we already also knew that there was whispers about the Modern Warfare making a comeback, and they properly announced with, I guess, some sort of trailer or something as well for Call of Duty, literally called Call of Duty Modern Warfare, same name. Announced and coming. This is Infinity Ward as well, doing it again.
Okay.
October 25th this year.
Whoa. Wow. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah. It is a reimagining of the original game in a contemporary context. So Modern Warfare, as the name implied, back when they came out, was basically a Call of Duty game with, loosely based on headlines around the world of that time.
Yeah.
thus the name Modern Warfare. Doing the same concept now, same characters. So Price is back, all the boys are back.
But it's in today's.
But it's today's.
That's kind of cool.
Kind of deal.
All right.
No season pass. They said no season pass for it. Also, cross-platform play between PC and console. So now, for whoever's playing on console against PC players, that's bad. It's nice to see. It's good that it's there.
It's good to see it, but
it's better that it's there than it's not there. But it's always going to be tough for console.
The console players are going to be angry, man. The console heroes are going to be like, the fuck?
Now,
they're going to be mad, bro.
Here's the thing. I'm not going to lie. There are some people that play console that will still beat the vast majority of people on the PC. Of course. However,
you're giving them giving them a reason to complain, bro. You're giving them the out. The out.
True.
Fucking PC player, like you die. Fucking fuck. It's not fair.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you're gonna get.
And
bro.
even if they do well, then sometimes the PC players will say, well, you have like aim assist, because all console shooters pretty much by default have a form of aim assist.
I didn't think of that.
Because analog controls.
God, don't know.
You know, some of them you can turn that off, but most of them it's on by some sort of default, because at the end of the day, it is hard to do a first-person shooter with analog sticks.
Yes,
it's just the nature of the beast. So there's always been some form of
sticking,
light to moderate to extreme stickiness for targets to help with that. And so people are always going to complain, but fuck all the complainers. We need every possible multiplayer game we can get our hands on to be cross-platform play, because there are a lot of people with friends that might play this or like something like a Halo or whatever the fuck. Where some of their friends have the console, they don't have the PC, or some people have the PC but not the console, and they want to be able to play with their friends. And so just that by itself makes it a thumbs up for me to give them the option to go ahead and do that. Sometimes the PC players will say, well, as long as you do that all you want, but you better give us, lists that we can use that are exclusively PC. Or the console players will say, we want exclusive lists for consoles so that we don't have to commingle with the other platforms either.
Now, I wonder if they're doing that because maybe the sales aren't as good. Maybe there's not enough of a player pool to really get everything running real fucking, the way it's supposed to be on just the PC and then on the console, especially with other battle royales and shit out now.
Well, I would say I don't think you're going to see a battle royale in this.
No, but I'm saying because of the fact that there are battle royales out, a lot of the people that are playing these games, maybe they have to do this in order for there to be enough players to really keep the pace going, populate the list.
I think, obviously, I think it doesn't hurt it.
No,
to say the least. It's still a Call of Duty game, and their multiplayer formats don't use so many players that I think that's traditionally a huge issue for them, because Call of Duty at the end of the day is still going to sell 10 million plus units.
Yes, yeah. But how many people are going to continue to play it? That's the thing, right? Because at this point...
That's the challenge. It's always going to be a hardcore base. I still think Call of Duty holds enough of a hardcore base that as long as the Call of Duty game doesn't suck dick, they're going to be there and playing it. And the fact that this is Modern Warfare is probably going to do, big numbers just because it's Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare is still like the fucking...
What about all the hackers on the PC now fucking up the console people, which... Really,
well, that's also a problem. I mean, there's even not nearly as bad, obviously, but even consoles. Can be hacked
but I
these
mean,
days.
Jesus, man, it wasn't even really part of the damn conversation. Now it'd be like, oh boy.
Yeah, so they're gonna obviously have to work hard to make sure that they keep that under control. I didn't see a lot of that when I was playing the blackout mode and stuff like that. That wasn't really a problem there. The hacking so much as just the connection was just dog shit.
Yeah.
So So that's I don't think that'll be a huge issue for them, and I'm sure they have that in mind. If you're gonna do something like this, you not only are you putting your prize dog out there, you got your Infinity Ward Modern Warfare title.
You fucked that one up. Ouch.
This is their opportunity to kind of make Call of Duty even more relevant again, because Call of Duty has been kind of overshadowed by other games. So if they want to bring it back out of the shadows a little bit and be more talked about than just the Call of Duty fans, then this is probably a good opportunity for them. So cool. That's coming, and it's not coming from too long from now. So there you go.
Soon.
And that's one of those big that's one of those big fall titles. I think that
whatchamacallit is
Last
trying to get
of
away
Us
from it.
is trying to get away from.
Yeah.
Right, like stuff like that. Right. Oh, now the last piece of gaming news this week before we move on from there. World Health Organization has officially announced and listed gaming disorder as a thing.
I saw that.
So, they mentioned that they were talking internally about this quite some time ago now, but now it's officially listed. It's in their documentation. It is a thing. I have written down here what it takes for you to be diagnosed as this, because a lot of people have looked at this and turned into a meme where it's like, oh, I play games now, let me park in a disabled spot, like shit like that. And obviously, just playing a lot of video games is not the fucking you're not going to get labeled with this disorder, and a doctor's not going to be like, here's some meds.
Yeah.
So this is what they said. This is a direct quote from them. Simply playing a lot of games is not enough to count as a disorder. Rather, the disorder occurs when gaming interferes with people's daily lives. According to the World Health Organization, gaming disorder is, in quotes here, a pattern of persistent or recurrent gaming behavior in which people lose control of their gaming behavior, lose control of their gaming behavior, giving priority to gaming over other interests and activities, and can continue gaming despite negative consequences, such as impairments in their family relationships, social lives outside of gaming, of course, work duties, other areas like that.
Yeah.
So they're looking at it as a almost its own branch of addiction.
Yes.
Like any other form of addiction.
Yes.
So like you have like any kind of drug addiction or alcohol addiction, gambling, things of that nature. This is a like almost another branch on that tree. Except gaming is the thing instead. The only thing in here that would be gray area and would be something that doctors would have to look at, I guess, when determining the interference of gaming with everything else, is that they list here, and that's why I made specific outside of gaming, the interference with social lives. So for some people, online gaming is their social life. They come home from work.
Yes.
Their online gaming is their social life.
Big part of mine.
Exactly. So, so I think that's like one of the more. All of this is always subjective when a doctor is looking at something and trying to determine, how much is really happening here. But I think this is a pretty severe thing. We're looking at a case where it's like a child is telling their parents to go fuck themselves and trying, demanding a bunch of shit and not doing anything. In school or anything else, and all they're doing is playing Fortnite and jerking off to anime. Like, that's the picture in your head that you have for like a gaming disorder, right?
Yeah.
And that's like an addictive thing, and you see that stuff. There are people chirp Dr. Phil all the time because he is a TV personality, but the dude's not a fucking idiot. And
he's a doctor.
He's talked about this stuff before, where he'll like kids have come on the show and he's looking at it and he's going, these parents fucked these kids up bad.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you're seeing kids that like run the household and stuff, and it's because the parents have folded and they're just doing nothing but playing fucking video games all day, every day, with no consequence.
Yeah.
But they're failing in school. They're not, spending time with any of their friends. They're not really, building anything in their lives outside of the gaming thing.
Yeah.
So I personally, a lot of people are making a big deal of this. I don't give a fuck. I think this is fine. I think everyone, if they're being honest with themselves, knows somebody that might actually fall. If you're a hardcore gamer or somebody that plays a lot of games, you probably have somebody in your social circle that would come damn close or falls into this category.
Yeah.
Where they have let everything else in their lives, their working life, their relationships with their partner or lack thereof, because of gaming, not because they don't want one. Like, they might talk about wanting one, but they never like go out and actively seek it because all they do is play games.
Yeah.
Things of that kind of behavior. I think everyone probably has at least one person that could fall under this.
Yeah.
And that's no different than some people probably knowing somebody who might have a problem with alcohol, or somebody that has a problem with
anything,
any kind
Eating,
of addictive behavior,
whatever,
exactly,
sex,
exactly,
whatever, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I think they should just call it what it is. It's an addiction. That's what it is. What are they calling it? A disability?
Disorder.
Oh, a disorder.
Yeah, it's a disorder.
Yeah. Okay, well, I guess that's a good word for it. I mean, it's an addiction.
Yeah.
And it's tough, really, for any addiction. I mean, like you said, I don't see it any different than being an alcoholic or being a drug addict or anything. You're not physically putting something in your body and having a chemical react. I'm sure there is chemical reactions going off even playing games. But I mean, you know what I mean? You don't physically see the addiction.
Yeah.
But it is consuming every area of your life and negatively. You know, I definitely even have those traits of being addicted to work or you know, whatever, workaholics.
I mean, there are people that are addicted to going to the gym where they will let everything else in their life go to the wayside to go to the gym.
They won't pay their rent. They'll be spending $800 a month on supplements, juice, whatever they can. Right? They'll do anything to the extreme to do what they love. Right? Or what makes them feel good.
Too much of anything.
Too much of anything can be a bad thing.
Can be a bad thing and be a detriment. Yeah.
And honestly, man, like, I'm probably going to say something that's fairly controversial, but I think it's up to also streamers like ourselves and people of influence that are sort of leading the charge on playing video games, because a ton of people that watch our streams or podcasts or whatever, some of them are probably playing video games right now or probably playing video games all the time or whatever. I think it's on us, or not on us, but I think it's not a bad idea for people like us to promote getting out and doing things and being social and taking time to spend with family and you know, whenever somebody's in my chat and they're like, dude, I need to fucking do the schoolwork, but I can't stop watching, I'm like, go do your schoolwork. You know, this is always here. You know, we're not going anywhere. And so I don't think it's, like I said, I shouldn't say it's our job to do that, but I think it's a real thing, man. People like I've seen it, and there's good that comes out of it, and there's bad that comes out of it, like anything. I've seen tons of people that I've met at cons and just at everyday life that met their spouse on World of Warcraft or through a community, and now they're together. And they've created, you know, they're married, they got kids, you got all these things. There's great that comes out of it, but then I've also met the people, and I've seen stories. I've had people email me and shit that they've spent too much time playing World of Warcraft. I know I'm kind of picking on World of Warcraft right now, but spent too much time MMOs, you really get into it. You know, even now I'm playing Grand Theft Auto RP, and I'm really getting into this shit. I'm getting lost in this. I'm starting to say things as my character in real life, you know, spending a lot of time in front of the computer. So absolutely, I think it's a real thing. I think it's not a bad thing to talk about. People can joke about all they want, but like you said, if you're being honest with yourself, or you may know somebody very well. I mean, if you're a hardcore gamer, there are people you know that border that where you're like, bro,
100%.
come outside, like come out to my house for a barbecue, or fucking let's go to the movies, and they're like, no. I need to be.
It's Tuesday. I've got a raid,
dude. I played fucking RuneScape for a year. You want to talk about addicts?
Oh man,
it's literally
optimization all the time.
It's literally they can't, like, a lot of them cannot do anything in their life without being efficient. They can't, like, and now they've got it on their phones.
Yeah.
So now they're fucking going around doing it on their phones. If that isn't an addiction, then I'm not saying anybody's bad for that or anything like that, but it's good that there is something out here that it is being recognized and that people can get help for it. You know, it's not doesn't make you a bad person. You know, there comes a time where you just gotta, you know, drop it. I mean, I've seen people that have had kids, and they're like, dude, I had to just drop it cold turkey. I can't install WoW anymore. I can't install RuneScape anymore. I can't play StarCraft anymore. It just consumes too much of my time. I don't make time for my loved ones, and it's ruining my relationship, or it's doing this, or it's making me feel terrible. I'm not getting work done, and I'm not using my time effectively. It's like that really for anything. You abuse it enough, like you said, even the gym, something that would be considered healthy.
Yeah, exactly.
You do it enough, bro, and you're not working. You don't want to work. All you want to do is this. It can be a problem. So, hey, I'm happy that it's out there. I can see why people meme it, you know, because at the end of the day, I think we're all a little bit addicted to video games in some way, shape, or form.
It's like people feel like they're getting attacked. It's like if I play people think that just because they play games now all of a sudden it's like they think that the WHO is saying they have a disorder.
That's not it.
Which is
You're
obvious,
not sick.
Which is obviously
like
not it.
Exactly. Just because you play video games, you go on binges and you love to play video games on every waking hour of your free time does not make you have a disorder or you're an addict.
No.
It means you enjoy that as your part of your escape, your entertainment.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it's meant for.
Yeah.
But when it is consuming your sleep, your relationships, your ability to work, your everything. It's good.
I've seen arguments where it's like, well, nobody talks about how binge watching a shitload of fucking Netflix, every opportunity that you have, or sitting down and watching like 3 hours of sports a day or some shit is a disorder. Well, the fact of the matter is that they, if just like playing games for 3 or 4 hours a night doesn't mean that you have a disorder.
No.
It's if you're doing it to the detriment of other aspects of your life.
Yes.
Then
it's a problem.
Then it's a problem.
It's a problem. Period.
Then it's a problem. Period.
Yes.
Doesn't matter what it is that you're doing.
Yes.
It becomes a
if
problem.
you eat enough food all the time,
that's going to be a detriment.
Yes, it's going to become a problem
to living.
Literally. And that's it, right? And then when all aspects of your life is going to shit, then you get depressed, right? And then it's then you're gonna only want to do the thing that makes you feel good.
Vicious circle.
And that's playing video games or eating or going to the gym all the time or whatever, because nothing else in your life is going well because of the very thing that you're doing too much. So I think it's a great article or a great piece. I think I'm happy that it's being recognized.
Yeah.
Especially in this day and age where, listen, 10 years ago, video games was not what it is today.
No,
I mean, it just wasn't.
No,
and now since it's an everyday household thing, you've got big influencers that are making millions of dollars, living the dream and having fun, and it's great. A lot of kids out there want to follow suit.
I think the mobile stuff is really adding fuel to this fire as well, because you're always attached to your phone now, whereas before with games, mobile gaming for a time was actually pretty hard to do for any length of time because batteries. It wasn't something that everyone had. They weren't buying individual, like you had to buy like a Game Boy or a Sega Game Gear or some shit, or a 3DS or a DS back in the day, or an Advance or whatever you want to go back for, on PSPs and shit.
Yes.
But now it's everything is just here.
And a lot of it's free.
Yeah. And they put a lot of really addictive gambling like aspects to them to make them even more addicting, to drain people of their money over time, or increase the odds that they're going to want to spend money. And so not only is it already next to you all the time and you feel like you want to do it, but they're putting these systems in that are built just like a casino to make you feel like you want to keep doing it.
It's a form of gambling. It's an addiction. It's fun. It's exciting. You get your endorphins are fucking going crazy. You win something big. Yes.
So I really think the mobile side has contributed more than just the traditional gaming front.
I agree.
But
play Fortnite on your goddamn iPad.
Yeah, it follows you. It follows you everywhere, right?
Yes.
So I think that's definitely a big part of it. Another 5 coming in from Darko saying, unlike the so-called influencers today, people need this type of influence. Really, yeah. Well, people. It's not like Jeff said. It's not like we have, we have to do this. But I think it just makes sense. You have to make sure that people understand that. Look, you do. It's the joy. Just get the fuck out the house.
Yeah.
I had this discussion on stream yesterday when we were talking about it with a couple of my viewers that have been having a rough go of it, and at the end of the day, it was like, look, life on the tech side of things these days, if you're not somebody who was brought up in a house where let's say sports was closer to what you were doing and like actively playing them and whatnot, there's no two ways around it. That's just a way healthier fucking life. You can't fucking deny the shit. You can try and argue it all day, but if you have somebody in your family that was like a hockey or a basketball or a soccer player or some shit, and that was where they got their interaction with other people, they're probably a lot more fucking socially adjusted and healthy than you are.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But the fact is that the point that I made was, no matter how much you want to believe, and I'll use the podcast as a good example of this, no matter how much you want to believe that interacting with other human beings over the internet, whether it's through a microphone or otherwise, even comes close to the interaction that you have when you're sitting in the same room as somebody and conversing, you really don't understand how big of a gap there is.
You spend too much time online.
You spend too much time online. You've convinced yourself otherwise, right?
Or either that, or you don't know any different.
Or you just know any different, right? So like it's a totally different ball game, entirely, and not for any small reason. Like when we first started doing the podcast, even for us to try and interact, and we've been friends for fucking 20 years.
Yeah.
And for us to interact it was even that was hard.
It was different.
And we were in this game doing this shit for 8 years.
Yes.
And it was still difficult.
Yeah.
For us.
Yeah.
So imagine how much that means that you're lacking from a social interaction point for just being in a different fucking place as somebody else is a totally different ball game.
Dude, remember being in high school, junior high?
Sometimes I want to be back there just for at least a day.
Dude, like the amount of social interaction that I had with just people on a regular basis, whether it was people I liked or didn't like, just being around people. And then as an adult, now that I've been doing this job for forever and have been isolated so much, my social skills back then,
way better.
Infinitely
Dude,
so.
Me and Cleveland went out to catch up here yesterday. Had a drink and a bite at Moxie's because like we're not sponsored by it, but low key Moxie's hit us up.
Fire, man. It's fire.
It's just fire spot.
It's fire spot.
So we go there and we're having a beer and catching up or whatever since his dad passed here like just a month ago or whatever and he and I are talking. That was relatively easy because we've been friends since we were 5 years old. And then the waitress comes over or whatever, and I'm struggling to have a normal interaction with the like normally like the stuff like my wit and whatever gone.
Yeah,
it's fucking gone.
You need to process it too much. You're
like I'm
too much.
thinking
The
too
gears
much.
are just
like anything I'm doing on stream, any kind of wit or whatever that I might just gone, and my head's just grinding, smoke coming out my ears and shit. Holy fuck! It was a struggle. We got there. We got through it.
Nice.
And you should have seen the size of the dessert that I got at the end. I opened the fucking container. I ordered one of the puddings to go or whatever, like a toffee pudding. And like the normal one is like, it's sizable, but it's just like it's a brownie basically. Dude, I got half a goddamn cake.
There you go.
The plastic container she brought over was this big.
Okay, they gave you the whole pot.
They gave me basically the whole fucking thing. And Ryan was like, Jesus!
Yeah.
It's like, I guess she must like me.
Oh, there you go.
Going back to Moxie's for more dessert.
Oh, gonna try and get some dessert.
No. She was nice though, but my social skills fucking hurting situation, bro. And that's just we spend all of our time online, and so it's body language, bro. You misinterpret or you forget how to even read body language properly anymore, and something that you did naturally is just gone. And now you're spending a lot of brain power. Like trying to interpret body language, and it's bad.
Well, dude, I'm gonna say this, and then we'll move on. Whenever I go to cons and shit, right? So say we go to PAX East, and I love meeting people from the stream and other streamers and shit, bro. But the amount of people, including myself at times,
awkward conversation,
bro.
Or just no conversation.
It's either, dude. It's socially awkward. It can be really, really awkward. But what's nice about being in that awkward position is everybody knows everybody's awkward. So it's not that awkward, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like we all know we're fucking weirdos.
Two negatives made a positive there.
Exactly. We're all nerds and we all spend too much time in the basement.
Yes.
And half of us forget to wear deodorant because we don't do it anyway, so the place stinks. It's awkward. It's awkward as fuck, right? And the only nerds that are really winning are the ones that are like got like the Asian chicks that are all into cosplay.
Yeah.
And they're like nerds, the nerd ballers.
Yeah.
And they're just walking around with their side pieces.
Crazy nerd ball.
Oh, it's awesome, bro. I love it. I miss them.
It is. But that's what it is. And so, like, there's a large part of it where I think a lot of people that spend a lot of time and kids coming up and stuff. That's where most of their interaction comes from when they're not in school. And as soon as you leave school,
you're fucked.
You're fucked.
I got pretty fucked. Dude, before I could go to, like, say if it was like a job interview or I had to do a presentation, I'd crush the shit. Dude, if I had to do a presentation now in front of some coworkers or like pitch a job or something, I'd have anxiety like a motherfucker. And that's coming from a guy that speaks for a living in front of thousands of people that I could bat an eye. I'd be like, whatever, I could do that. But in person, I'd be like, oh, fuck.
Oh, it's bad.
I'd be like, I'd be trying to prepare the night before and I wouldn't even sleep well the night before. I'd have anxiety about it. Straight up.
100%. Be pulling all-nighters and shit.
Yes.
That was bad.
That's real life, bro.
It's bad. Yeah. So anyway. Hit the like button if you haven't already. It really helps us out here, and make sure to leave a comment once the video is actually in VOD format. That also helps. We love hearing you guys, whether you're liking the show or you have a comment about something that we're talking about. Always nice to see. I still read every comment. I've read every comment for 8 years on this web.
I haven't.
I'm probably older now because I've done that.
Definitely. I do check them out once in a while, though.
Yeah.
I would say like 80% of them I'll skim through, but I'll do it once, but I don't go back to refresh to see what's up.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah,
I usually do it, after a couple days and then I move on.
get it all in one
I get
batch.
it all in one batch, you know what I'm saying?
Like a Band-Aid.
Yes, sir.
But do it up. And we appreciate everyone coming over from all the podcast apps and Spotify and iTunes and otherwise to like and comment on these videos to help us out. It's been a big thing. They usually say they're like, I'm coming over from wherever. They're still doing it. We're getting more and more of them coming over.
Yeah, and you know what? We had some people come from my stream today, so a big thank you to everybody that has been tuning in.
Yeah, shout-outs for that.
Hit the like button if you guys haven't. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't. And if you want to watch the podcast in clip form, in the description of this very video right now, there's another channel called Technical Alpha Patch Notes, where every morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, there's a new clip that comes up. So if you missed a podcast or you want to rewatch a popular segment, then you can go ahead and do that as well. And hopefully you'll continue to tune in each week. And each week I'll try and plug the podcast. But we've got record high numbers today, so that's great.
Bring it home. That's OTT.
Good. Hey, you know me.
That's like the thing. Who was I talking to? Shady has been screaming at me to wait in queue for 17 straight hours with no priority just to get on.
The server crashes.
Game over.
It's game over. It actually crashed just
as we were doing
it. I was number 2.
Yeah.
Now I'm number 13.
Yeah. That's a hard pass.
Yeah.
But like the whole somebody in chat, I can't remember who it was like, you should make a character who's just like super flamboyant. Be another flamboyant,
There's a few of those.
There's a few of those.
Yeah, there's a few.
Which wasn't the character that I came up with to begin with, but the thing that I immediately thought was like, I'm thinking it's like Jeff who's doing OTT for like fucking 11 hours a day now, is what happens when you play a character like that is it spills over into the real world.
It's already started
because it's a habit.
Yes,
and you don't even know that you're doing it.
Yes,
so it's like I'm just sitting here going, any one of these guys out here or whatever that are doing these flamboyant characters, they're sitting out in public and then they just accidentally slip into character, and that's gonna be awkward as fuck.
Dude, I'm with my son on multiple occasions, and he's crying. I'm like, come on, cuh. Like, and I don't even realize, and I'm doing that shit. It's bad. And, people were like, what are you going to do for your next character? And I was like, well, I'm thinking about, I'm going to probably apply to try and be a cop. And I was thinking about making a character that stutters, right? And I'm like, I was like, and I'm like, if I do that,
you're fucked. You're going to need a speech therapist in real life.
So I'm like, I better not do that because literally,
that's why my character was literally just an exaggerated East Coast accent. That was it. I wasn't trying to do anything crazy.
There's one dude on the server that plays a Canadian, and it's hard Canadian. I mean, like, dude, like that from the videos you
like Letterkenny?
Literally that.
The Northern Ontario.
And he does it really
fucking
good. Yeah, dude. It's funny. It's funny as fuck.
That shit's funny.
But yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's taken over. Want to talk about an addiction? I'm there. I'm
there. What's making it worse is you're getting paid well for it.
Yeah.
So, that's definitely not helping the situation.
It's just adding fuel to the fire.
Talk about dopamine. Every time you got that money rolling in and you're saying "cuh," all of a sudden it's like every time you get $5 coming, you start singing Cream Pie in real life.
Straight up. That's it. It's taken over.
You're going to get pulled over by a cop in real life and accidentally start singing Cream Pie
right between your thighs.
Try to get yourself out of this fucking ticket.
The motherfucker's going to be like, that ain't working. You're going to jail, bitch.
You're actually just going to jail.
Straight up.
I'm going to give you a worse time if you don't stop singing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Micro with a 10 spot and super chat. My best friend actually suffers from this type of gaming addiction. I feel like serious discussions, not dismissive memes, goes a long way. Nothing can replace real friends. Thank you, Lag TV. You're right, real friends, bro.
Straight up,
real friends. I'm always like on one hand, I was never the type to hold a huge friend circle. Like I always had like a smaller group of closer friends, not a bigger group of like closer to like acquaintances. You'd almost want to call them. But sometimes I feel like I'd almost rather that because the older you get, the smaller your circle gets, whether you want it to be or not, either because people move or whatever.
Then life gets in the way,
and
too.
life gets in the way.
Yeah.
So, sometimes it's hard not to be envious of people that are just like these social fucking butterflies with a million people in their but at the same time, I also know a lot of people are like that feel more lonely than people that have closer friends
100%.
Because they don't have super close friends because all of their friends are just like this never-ending list of just kind of more acquaintances. They get along together well, they spend time together, but they're not really like close friends.
Well, I used to be like that when I was 19 years old. I used to party every week.
Yeah.
And I wasn't hanging out with you at the time.
Yeah.
So I had acquaintances and people that I partied with. I had like one close friend, Wayne.
Yeah.
but I was living with him. So, but I was a social butterfly, right? A good chameleon, but I was miserable. So I'd go in, spend my paycheck every week, be miserable.
Yeah.
You know, try and get with a chick or whatever, and then do it all over again.
Rinse and
But I
repeat.
never had any, you know, real close relationships.
Exactly.
Literally, that was when I went over your house. And I'm like, bro, we need to do something.
Exactly.
And then that's how Leg TV started, literally. And I hadn't hung out with you in a while. Just went over there, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, we're making a YouTube channel, and here we are 8 years later,
It happened.
9 years later.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
We're still doing it.
It's crazy shit, bro.
It's wild. It's wild. It's wild. What do we got next?
Hit me up with the sound of movies and TV.
Movies and TV.
Sonic has apparently gone into rehab for the meth that he was taking for a long time before doing this movie, and is now being rehabilitated to turn into the Sonic we all know and love for a February of 2020 release.
Yeah, it got delayed.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons.
Yeah.
I mean,
Meth is a hell of a drug, Jeff.
yeah.
It gets you.
If they really planned on still releasing a movie on time, that would have been probably would have been a disaster.
The animators would be dead.
Yes, they'd have been working harder than Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
Creators.
Hard to do. They'd be finding a 25th hour in the day.
Yes, they'd be dead. They would die. So the fact that it's a little bit delayed, I'm okay with that if they're going to make quality.
Yes, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
it is what it is.
That's a good idea. Makes me feel better for the animators. Fuck the movie. I was like, when I saw that announcement, the first thing I thought was they can't possibly still trying to be releasing this shit the same time.
Yeah, nah.
But thank God they moved that on.
And I think everybody understands why they're doing it too. It's not like anybody's in a super rush to go fucking watch Sonic to begin with.
No, exactly.
Like, this isn't an Avengers movie.
Some irony is that nobody's going there fast to go watch that Sonic. It's just not. Dargo with another 10 spot. Thank you. Oh, 10, that's 10 euros. I'm buying a house. Buying my family houses. Aladdin apparently reviewing well, and you saw it. So,
I did.
I mean, it's kind of hard to spoil Aladdin, but let's assume that people have somehow are the age that they haven't seen Aladdin. But
There's
either
not
way,
really much to spoil. honestly.
how was the Aladdin experience?
Out of 10, comparing it to other Disney live actions,
Yes.
I'd give it a 7.
Okay.
Will Smith, the best part of the movie, 100%. His genie, amazing. I'm gonna go out and just say it. It's gonna be insane. People are gonna murder me for it. I don't give a shit. All right. It damn near rivals as a fun performance as Robin Williams did.
Probably just
it's
a
not
different
as
performance.
It is very different. It's not as iconic as Robin Williams, and Robin Williams is still synonymous. I keep saying synonymous with the genie.
Yeah.
But I was most scared for Will Smith going up against something like that. I mean, it's
anyone who's going to take on a role that, just like when The Rock did Jumanji again.
Exactly.
Anyone who, like Robin Williams is sacred ground.
Yes.
So as soon as you start walking into like Robin Williams, and those were like his movie, Jumanji, Aladdin as the genie. I mean, short of fucking Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah.
We're already hitting on like some big shit here, right?
I'm still obviously putting Robin Williams as the front runner. Like, you know, if there's so many Batmans,
there's still somebody in front.
There's still somebody in front.
Yeah.
Robin Williams still owns that. It's still his character.
Yeah.
But goddamn, Will Smith is like Will Smith is like really there.
It was a good casting.
Oh, perfect casting.
I just didn't like how he looked. It just felt weird to me, but it was live action, so it was never not going to be weird, I think, to me, because the genie character was so much bigger than life.
Yeah.
That
but dude, the way they filmed this and
I'm sure they did a fantastic job.
The CG is really well done,
Yeah.
and the way that he goes from CG to a human is really, really great too. And although Aladdin, like, you're right, the genie was bigger than life and he was all over the place, but they still managed to make the genie in this bigger than life and all over the place, but in a way that it wasn't like daunting on the eyes, or it didn't feel too cartoony.
Yeah.
It's super well done. I would love to see him in that role again. Like that's how well he did. It really, and you knew it was Will Smith, kind of like it's Robin Williams.
Yeah.
But it's okay because the way it's the perfect humor for him. He gave nice little tributes to Robin Williams, but still made everything his own. He's not the best singer in the world.
Well, neither was Robin Williams.
But neither was Robin Williams. I still think Robin Williams did better job with the music than what Will Smith did. But Will Smith has that swagger. He's so likable that it just worked. The worst part about the movie was Jafar. And it's not because the guy's a bad actor. I actually thought he crushed the scenes. Like, the guy is one hell of an actor. But the way he looked, his staff, or his, I guess his staff, his scepter, with the snake, in his look, it was very Power Rangers-y. It looked very like
Rita from Power.
Very Rita Power Rangers. But it was weird because you're seeing a dude that looks like Rita and is cheesy like Rita, but he's acting like a, I wouldn't say Denzel, but like a really fucking good actor that's evil.
Yeah.
Like, he's doing a really great job, but I'm being thrown out of it a little bit because it looks so Power Rangers-y. So that was the worst part of it. I thought the Aladdin guy was okay. I thought Jasmine was the second best part of the movie. Her singing was great. She was a good actress. The Aladdin guy, I could take or leave. I felt like he was really trying to be Aladdin too much, because not everybody else in the movie was trying to be who they were in the end. It didn't feel too much like the animated.
It didn't feel like they were trying to copy directly.
Exactly, but he was trying to copy the Aladdin, and it took me out in a few parts where I'm like, dude, you're trying too hard. But then he had moments where he was great. So, overall, it was a good time at the theater. It's not a theater movie, though. You don't need to rush out to see this movie in theater. You can watch this on your screen, your 55-inch at home, and enjoy it just as much. It's not very theatrical. I did see it not in IMAX. I saw it in 3D. The 3D didn't really do a whole lot, and you'd think it would, considering how crazy the genie is. But
I never think 3D does anything.
No,
anyway.
it didn't do much. But yeah, overall, I'd say 7 out of 10. Will Smith crushed it, and it was a fun time.
Good.
It wasn't as good as Cinderella, in my opinion. It wasn't as good as The Jungle Book, in my opinion.
Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast. Sorry, I thought I really liked Beauty and the Beast. But it was better than what was another one? I'm sure it was better than Dumbo. I didn't see Dumbo, and I think there was another live action Maleficent. Yeah,
Maleficent. Now that you said it wrong, my brain was like, yeah, that's right.
It's Maleficent.
That's Maleficent, definitely.
Maleficent, whatever the fuck it is. Anyway, it was better than that in my opinion.
They're doing another one of those.
They are. Yeah, a trailer just came out, but overall, not a bad time.
Great.
Yeah.
Another last second release before the podcast came up. Sylvester Stallone.
Still alive, huh?
He's still alive.
The juice hasn't taken his body out yet.
His balls are probably gone, but my God, that man just keeps going.
Yeah.
Rambo.
I saw that.
Last Blood.
Mm-hmm. It's the last one.
At least the title tells you that he's not going to be 84 trying to do this shit. So the last one, he's wrapping it up. Starts with First Blood, ends with Last Blood. It's corny, but it's Rambo. And you know what? God damn it.
Why not?
Why the fuck
Why not? Why not?
I'm seeing him move around in this movie, and he doesn't look like he's his age at all. He looks like he's like 15, 20 years younger than he actually is.
Yeah.
Not just because he's juiced up, but he's still moving like a younger person.
Yes.
And so as long as he can do that, I'm sure he's just going to keep going, because he's one of those guys Sylvester Stallone is like approaching an old guard version of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in terms of work ethic.
Yes.
He just never fucking stops working.
Dude, that's going to be The Rock when he's like 70 years old.
Yes, exactly.
He's still going to be making these movies. Fast and the Furious.
More and more
228.
Juice, and just go.
Yes.
Hobbs and Shaw, 19.
Last Heist. That's literally it. The Last Heist.
Exactly. And
78 years old.
I think that's what we're going to see with The Rock, is basically what we're seeing with Sylvester Stallone.
Harrison Ford.
Yes.
He announced that he's doing another Indiana Jones. We knew that for a while.
He said that the character should die with him.
He's going to be.
You know what? I don't disagree.
No, but it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
No,
it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But it's like, it would be like saying the genie should have died with Robin Williams.
It's not going to happen. It's too
much
money
to
be
happen.
made.
There's way too much money.
Way too much.
But
so
who would be, not to ruin your train of thought, but while we're talking Harrison Ford, because you brought it up, who would be?
Chris Pratt.
I agree.
That's it.
Nobody else on the planet.
That's it. Chris Pratt.
He's the only. That's the.
And
that's
I hate
the show.
to say it because he's in Guardians. He's in
But the motherfucker
he's got another big franchise, doesn't he?
Is perfect.
Fuck, I thought he's got
in Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park. That's it. I hate to say it, but that's him. It's Chris Pratt.
Yeah, you can't hate Chris Pratt because he's
give it to Chris Pratt.
Do it.
Give it to him.
While Harrison Ford is still alive,
give it to him.
Give it to Chris Pratt.
Give it to Chris Pratt.
Yes. In fact, if you're making one right now, just give it to Chris Pratt.
Yes. Put him in the damn movie and pass the torch to Chris Pratt.
Exactly.
Or reboot the whole franchise. Give it to Chris Pratt.
Yeah. Stop if you're working with Harrison right now.
Yes.
Stop. Give it to Chris Pratt.
Done. That's who's playing. If he doesn't play it, I'm not in. That's the only person that can do it. And I'm telling you right now, he's like literally the perfect guy to do that. He's charming, he's funny, he's athletic, he's young enough. He's got that look. You can just picture him in the fucking getup with a fucking whip.
His humor works perfectly for it's like Chris Pratt is the American version of British humor.
That's
where
true.
It's a good it's dry, sarcastic humor, but not British dry. It's like American dry.
Yeah.
So it's like he deadpans everything.
His timing's good too.
And his timing is good.
Timing's really good.
So like it's a lot of his humor is kind of like he's contrasting shit. So in Guardians, it's like he's got his headphones on, he's dancing around fucking Michael Jackson killing fucking shit and whatever. Like it's the
and it seems
contrast.
very improv-y too. Like the way he is.
Juxtaposition.
He's witty. He's witty as fuck.
I can't speak today. I can't.
Justification?
No. Juxtaposition.
Oh,
I was putting an S before the X, and my brain didn't want to go out. Dude,
that's a $20
I slept
word.
for 3 hours the other day, and so I got up yesterday after 3 hours, and the day before that, I streamed like 12 hours, went to bed at like 8 o'clock in the morning. My body's fine. My brain.
I had 7.5 hours
Stroke.
last night. I'm feeling like fucking $1 million.
I'm definitely not feeling like $1
I
million.
was on 4 hours sleep the 2 nights before that, and I was pulling long days. Last night, 7.5. I woke up feeling like a fucking god.
Juxtaposition is the word.
Juxtaposition. There you go. Chris Pratt.
That's his humor, and he does a really good job of it. And so I think he's perfect for that fucking role for sure, without question.
Yeah.
You were gonna say something else before.
Yeah. So they delayed the movie. What movie are we talking about? Harrison Ford.
Are you sure you slept 7.5 hours? Indiana Jones.
Indiana, thank you.
I almost said Harrison Jones.
You should. Fuck. We just end it now. They delayed it, so apparently by the time they start filming and it comes out, Harrison Ford will be like 78 years old. No, I shit you not, bro. 78 years old. So he's saying that this is it.
Yeah,
I hope so.
I hope so.
And then we'll see who gets it. But yes, he did say that he wants the character to die with him, essentially.
Well,
but,
he might die on set. So
good news,
know.
Chris Pratt.
Because the difference between Harrison Ford and
Chris Pratt.
No, not Chris. Wow, we are fucking hurting right now,
what's
bro.
Steven? I was gonna say Steven Skull.
I need to go. This podcast is done. This podcast is fucked.
Stallone.
Sylvester Stallone. The difference between Harrison Ford and Sylvester Stallone, other than HGH, is that Sylvester Stallone can still jog.
Yes.
That is the difference. If you see Harrison Ford try to jog, it looks like somebody who had both of his kneecaps broken by the Italian mafia.
Well, because they have been. Well, probably he just gets it from crashing airplanes.
Yes,
literally. He
exactly.
crashes airplanes and almost dies. Comes back to life, gets fucking reconstructed.
Fuck.
Oh man! All right.
That's all I had for
movies
for that.
and stuff.
I haven't seen any like TV. I haven't watched Chernobyl yet on HBO, but apparently it's really well done. I always loved everything to do with Chernobyl because it was so fascinating to me. But I haven't watched that yet. Apparently it's well. Other than the accents, where apparently everyone's British, but you know it's
whatever.
Yeah,
that's whatever. I think that is really about it for movie news and all that other shit.
And that's
not
it.
major.
Just want to remind you, patreon.com/LagTV. You should go and
link is in the description if you guys want to support. We will say that we do have a couple of StarCraft games already casted, but we will be putting a halt on that for a little bit.
Because we have a unholy amount of StarCraft coming.
Yes, our first charity event will be this Saturday, which is in 2 days, on my Twitch channel.
Yep.
For the kids, and we will be posting up all of those games, or at least 10 of them, up on YouTube. So you guys are going to get fuck tons of StarCraft content alongside of the podcast. So prepare your bodies.
That's right.
Because it's coming.
That's right.
It's coming.
And
then hopefully, if we hit the $10,000 mark by the end of the entire campaign, we'll be doing a Will Cheese Fail season. 10
That's
episodes.
Right. That'll be good.
AEW. All right, somebody's mentioned AEW a few times. Let's talk about AEW for a second.
So I never saw it because I didn't even. I've known of AEW's existence. So that's All Elite Wrestling.
Correct.
I've known of its existence, but I was unaware that this event was happening.
Yes.
And then I didn't. And I'm sad because I would have loved to watch that shit live.
Yeah.
I would have happily paid for it.
Yeah.
But I just didn't know until after it happened.
Yeah.
But apparently, and I've seen little bits and pieces, clips, they
crushed it, bro.
Crushed the fuck out of that.
They
and it's not surprising because the Rhodes brothers,
they're amazing talents,
helming
dude.
it.
Yeah.
I mean,
they got shafted by the fucking WWE
Their
hard.
father's fucking Dusty Rhodes, the American goddamn dream. For God, how are they not supposed to be legendary fucking wrestlers, right? So they run the show. And they smash it, and they have a lot of friends in the wrestling industry, and most of their friends are all really fucking good wrestlers as well.
Yep.
They put on this promotion. They don't do a bloated 4-hour-long run.
Nope.
They do really good shit for like this tighter period of time.
Yep.
They have JR fucking doing commentary.
Love it.
I mean, he's older and shit, and it's not like this is the 90s anymore or whatever.
But it's still
He's
JR,
still,
man.
JR is still better than anything WWE's running.
Yeah.
And then you have all these other icons that will just come out and do like short little runs there. I mean, for God's sake, DDP came out and hauled one of the Rhodes brothers wives off at one point, comes out crowds chanting DDP as he's hauling their ass out of there.
He'll be doing shit. You know it.
Dude, well, he and the Rhodes are out because the American Dream was one of the guys that basically brought DDP up and mentored him, right? So they're really close friends.
A lot of rumors. You know what, dude? And
Jericho,
dude, Jericho is. I think he signed a 3-year deal with them.
Yeah.
I've actually. This is going to sound crazy, but I mean, y'all know I'm a huge UFC fan, so that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
But in the last 3 weeks or so, I've been watching a shit ton of AEW promotional stuff.
Yeah.
Been watching tons of interviews, podcasts. I'm interested because, listen, WWE has been dog shit for a long time. I used to be a huge WWE, WWF fan back in the day. Attitude Era.
14 years now. Particularly dog shit.
Yes,
2005 was about the time where it really started to nosedive hard.
Wayne, really good friend of mine, and his wife are hardcore wrestling fans. So I've even been going over watching the Royal Rumbles and shit with them, and they like it. They love the shit, and I go there and I get hints of the nostalgia and wanting to like this shit where I'm like, I know it's fake and blah blah blah, but it's entertainment. I enjoy it.
You don't go to a movie and go, God damn it, it's fake.
Exactly. So the people that hate on wrestling for the fact that it's fake,
it's stupid.
It's stupid. And these guys are athletic as fuck. They put the shit that these guys in WWE and AEW.
Wild.
It's crazy, right? A lot of juice, but it's still crazy. It's impressive. So I enjoy it. I think subconsciously I've been waiting for either the WWE to make some crazy changes to get me hooked on it, or waiting for another company to come out and give me some shit that I can get into. So I'll announce it here. I'm straight up starting to watch this fucking shit. I didn't watch it live.
Where can we watch? Like here in Canada, who puts it on?
I wanted to say it was Spike. Was it Spike? I
don't know because I didn't even look.
I know I'm gonna probably get slammed. Somebody in the chat can say this. I'm gonna start watching this shit. I probably won't be able to watch it live.
No.
But I can watch it. I watch the VOD or whatever. I'll keep up to date, and I don't mind.
Well, here's the thing: AEW is probably going to post a lot of this stuff online for watching later because they're young and they know that that's where you get a lot of eyeballs.
That's what I want to say. So I didn't get to watch it live, but I was watching a bunch of the matches on YouTube. And wow, dude, the fucking level of wrestling coming from wrestlers that either got washed up in the WWE because they weren't hip enough or they weren't the new cool thing. They went out there and they wrestled their hearts out, and it was just as entertaining, actually more entertaining and more technical than what WWE has been in the last decade. I shit you not. It was amazing. The production was on point. Like you said, JR was doing his thing, which brought back, it just worked. The promotional bits that they did was working. The fact that it was like 80% wrestling and 20% microphone shit is what I want, because the WWE, it's fucking 3 hours long and it's literally 30% wrestling and 70% bad acting. And I'm all good for storylines and shit like that. Great, that's cool. But the WWE it's been their crutch for the longest time, and now the storylines are just redoing themselves. It's old. Brock Lesnar shows up when he wants and just give him the belt because he sells merchandise and is Brock Lesnar. The fact that we can watch something new, something that is much more technically sound, and something that's different and more mature of a product. Like, we got to see blood. We got to see fucking blood. They did the shit at the MGM Grand, sold it out in seconds.
Blood everywhere, bro. That last fight was just...
It was shit for adults. Yeah. It was on pay-per-view, did really well, and here's the part that I loved even more. This is the fucking part that sold me to the point where I'm like, I'm getting into it now. I'll fucking talk about it every week. I don't give a fuck. The fact that after the goddamn event, these motherfuckers pull a UFC. They get the wrestlers behind the scenes. They have media. They talk about the match. They continue talking about some stories, or they talk about what went into the event, how their training is going, who they're training with. Bro, it felt like it added some sort of realism, and it still is real. That's the thing. Like, they're talking about real life shit.
It adds to the kayfabe.
It adds to it, and each one of those videos are getting like million views, hundreds of thousands of interviews on people. It's adding to their brand. It adds to more realism. I would much rather an hour and a half, 2 hour show of what we saw, and then another bonus hour of the interviews and shit that I can continue to follow on the people that I'm interested in, and give me the content there outside of of the show that I can digest on my own. I can, I don't feel like I'm totally missing out. It's just a little bonus. It's like you get it's like you get extra for being a diehard fan. You just go out there and you just get a little bit more if you want to consume that. You don't feel like you're missing out.
No, exactly. So, and that just plays right into the fact that these are younger guys. Yep. They're guys that know the wrestling business and know the wrestling business a hell of a lot better than a lot of people that are up there. I'm not going to say that. Look, I'm not going to say the Hunter doesn't know what he's doing.
No, he knows what he's doing.
The problem is Vince is still at the top.
Yep.
And ultimately, Vince is running the show.
Yep.
And so, as much as I hate on Hunter because I really do think that he's a bit of a shit show sometimes, I think if he does eventually take over from Vince in the long run, that it will get better.
Yeah.
How much better remains to be seen.
Yeah.
But for now, Vince is still running the show. And as soon as wrestling, everyone always knew wrestling was fake.
Yes.
But some of the allure of it was that you kept the face up of it's real, even though everyone knew it was fake. And there's entertainment value in that, right? And back in the day before social media, you could all the promos had to do, you cut promos and stuff, and they built the story for the match, and then the match spoke for itself. There wasn't, like you were saying now, where there's like 30-minute discussions in the ring, dudes walking around with microphones doing all this shit. That might happen once in a blue moon as like a real big setup to a WrestleMania or some shit. Yeah. But it's like it's like every week now.
It's terrible.
It's just microphone playing.
Did you see that shit that build up to WrestleMania, and they do this cheesy shit every time where they point at the sign.
It's like it happened once, and then they point at WrestleMania or whatever.
Like, why are they all doing this?
So when they made the decision to switch from when they were forced to change it to WWE, and then it was like they also decided that around that time that they had to admit that all this is fake and work on it being as an entertainment thing. Mm-hmm. Took so much out of it.
Killed a lot of it.
Killed a lot of just the smoke and mirrors that even though we knew it was smoke and mirrors, it took a lot of the gas out of it. Then you got to the point where there was a turning point where the wrestlers were the ones coming up with their storylines most of the time, and coming up with a lot of stuff on the fly, last minute, getting out there, being creative, and you got a lot of this what we got to enjoy in the for us anyway, our age group, 80s, 90s into early 2000s.
Yep.
And then it became a more like a mostly
soap
Vince
opera for men.
Vince McMahon show.
Yeah.
Whereas whatever Vince McMahon wanted to do, which was for the most part push some of the shittiest wrestlers to the forefront.
Want to make merch money.
To get the merch money, right?
That's what it was.
It's like
huge money.
What's his name?
Brock Lesnar?
Not Brock Lesnar.
John Cena.
Not John Cena. John Cena's actually a really good wrestler. He just stayed in his lane and fucking did his thing. And
now he's kind of getting out of the lane, though. He's smart.
Well, yeah, people blame John Cena for what he did, but it's not John's fault that the company didn't do anything else around him. They just fucking like went all in on him. No, the other Samoan guy who's like Dwayne's cousin, who's in the movie Hobbs. Fucking, I can't even think of Superman Punch, like the shittiest fucking
Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Probably one of the most mediocre wrestlers of all time. But the most pushed wrestler I think I've ever seen in my lifetime.
Yeah.
Where
the fans are like, no.
He sold merch to kids.
Vince is like, yes.
And Vince just pushed the shit out of him for that.
Yeah.
Mediocre as fuck or bad on a microphone. Very athletic, but doesn't really make all that much use of it in the ring. Has some of the most unsatisfying finishers. I mean, you like even Hulk Hogan, who had a leg drop for a fucking finisher, managed to make the leg drop
that shit, though. Yeah,
more entertaining than a Superman
people's elbow,
punch.
Man. Come on,
like yeah,
it's an elbow.
Which if you've never heard the story of how the people's elbow came to be,
I think I did.
There's a video about it.
Yeah,
it's a fucking great story, and it adds to my point about when wrestlers were still able to pretty much improvise and do their thing, and where all the great shit came from.
Yep.
Like even something like Hogan's shirt being torn.
Yeah,
improvised shit that just. That is Hogan now. That's his fucking. That's his been his thing.
Yeah.
So to have AEW come in, and it's likely going to be a lot more about wrestlers who know wrestling, who are also going to be able to be more involved in the creative process. And do their thing. And then it's run by young people who understand that social media is a super powerful tool to bring that face back, that kayfabe. You know, it's not everything has to be a shoot. You know, like it's a kayfabe thing. To perpetuate that, we know it's fake, but like you said, it adds to it. You get invested in the characters more. It's like watching a show where you get character development, and it really adds a lot to it. That's fantastic. They obviously know that fluff isn't needed for this shit, and they have the backing of the best in the fucking business.
Oh yeah,
you have JR
there,
and you've got the Rhodes brothers. Moxley is there, who's Dean Ambrose, who got shit on by wasted talent.
Well, now look at him, dude. CM Punk's gonna come. I guarantee. Yeah, CM Punk's gonna end up.
I don't care about CM Punk, but I think I
think it'd be great for the company.
It would be great for the company, but CM Punk definitely. CM Punk was somebody who wasn't necessarily being wasted by the WWE all that much. I think he had just as much fuckery involved as WWE at that point, but that's whatever. It would be great for them to have him back if he decides to stop getting his face beat in MMA. That'd be great. So there's that. But think of how many wrestlers that have had great characters and shit have been wasted by the WWE over the last 15, almost 15 years. Just a huge that never got pushed to the front.
Yeah,
they're just huge. I want to see like Asuka, like on the female side, get her AEW. Sasha Banks looks like she's probably going to end up over there.
Yeah.
Like there is so much fucking talent.
Vince is shitting himself right now, bro. He's shitting.
His wrestlers, which are unfortunately contracted, so they can't really do anything about it right now.
Once their contracts are done, bro, you know that. And I've already been hearing that Vince has been just throwing money at people. Fucking, there's a huge event coming on in Dubai.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's paying Stone Cold a fuck ton of money to show up.
Everyone's boycotting it because they're doing it in Dubai, which is like a terrible fucking idea PR-wise.
Dude, apparently Vince has been throwing around like 7 figures for people to show up because he's trying.
Dude, they're doing WrestleMania in Florida so that Hogan can host it.
Bro,
he's bringing out all the guns he can possibly get. Yeah.
And look what AEW did. I mean, just on the first thing. And the thing is people are already sick and tired of the WWE. They want something else, and AEW is just playing right to them. AEW's got some huge investors.
Oh yeah,
they've got some crazy good talent.
You know what's great here is that WWE can still be good, but this might be the next gen WWF versus WCW thing that we got.
This is literally
Monday Night Wars were some of the best wrestling ever because it was two competing programs Like, it got to the point where and they were live every Monday, live. People were bouncing back and forth Monday nights.
Yes.
And it would get to the point where there were like 3-hour-long shows.
Yes.
Now, part of that also is why WCW crumbled, because it was like everyone had to jump the shark eventually to get. That's when the Attitude Era came. Women were all of a sudden like basically naked. Fucking people were basically having sex in anything they could get. The eyeballs.
Yep.
But for that period of time where that competition was there, my God, we got some good ass wrestling.
I'm hoping we get that again, man. AEW's crushing it. I'm gonna start watching it, start following it. I won't be like hardcore, but I'm gonna watch it and follow it and hopefully
as soon as if you figure out where we can watch it like reliably, if it is on TV, let me know. I'll VOD it. I'll watch it.
I'll do the same. We can talk.
Maybe we can try and talk about it on the podcast.
We can just give our thoughts on the show or whatever.
I want to like wrestling again.
I want to like wrestling again too. I'm giving
it
a chance. I'm giving it a motherfucking chance.
I mean, I still need some eye bleach from being a kid, seeing Owen Hart fall from the ceiling and dying. But other than that,
I'm ready.
I'm down.
There you go. There's some AEW for you.
I'm down. All right, so heading on over. Mr. Black, hit me up with the sound of tech support.
Tech support.
Oh, let's see. Here, you know what? I'll throw out something. This isn't probably the one event, but it'd be definitely one that I'd be interested in. But 8910 asks, if you could travel back in time to witness one event in history, what would it be? You know what I'm going to say? I want to go back and see Hulk Hogan slam Andre the Giant at WrestleMania.
So
the slam heard around the world, 93,000 people.
Ask the question again.
If you could travel back in time and witness one event in history, what would it be? And it's just because we were talking wrestling, I'm going Hulk Hogan slamming Andre the Giant, WrestleMania at Madison Square Garden in front of 93,000 people. The slam heard around the world. Watching Hogan tear both biceps in a lat, trying to pick up a 570-pound man.
You know what? I'm going to go with one event that has happened that I wish I could watch again. Can it be one that I've never seen? That I would like to see?
That would be what it would be, because I never saw that. I mean, that shit. Hogan was before I was alive. That was like 85 or whatever.
I'm gonna go with
or 87. Can't remember.
Oh man,
I think it was WrestleMania 3.
Dude, that's tough. That's a tough question, man. There's a lot of things. I don't know. I mean, there's so many things. I'm trying to think of.
That's why I just went with like wrestling.
I'm trying to make it a good one, but it's like
there's
so many historical things that have happened.
I'd also be down for being there when DDP earned the championship belt after his run, getting up, starting wrestling when he was like 35 years old, and like the whole character coming to be, and everyone was behind him. He was the original People's Champ, bro. Before The Rock ever used that moniker. The OG, before everyone else was jacking that finisher.
I'm gonna go with. I'm just gonna go with. I would just love to have been able to see Michael Jackson perform live.
That'd be pretty dope.
That's it. Like one of his iconic.
Specifically?
Yeah, I would go with. Fuck, he did a concert. Man, I'd have to look it up on YouTube. There was one concert that he did. It was massive. I mean, they're probably all massive, but this one was like he was outside and there was like a fucking 100,000 people there.
Okay.
And he put on this huge show. It was like the full fucking shebang. I forget where it was, but I'm just gonna go with MJ. Give me any of them. I don't care. I just love to see Michael Jackson do his full blown concert back in his like his prime, like back in the fucking Thriller album days. Give me that. Give me a full fucking 2-hour concert of that.
Concert for me, there's two.
Damn.
There's the live Aid event where Queen played I think it was Live Aid.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
And it was like the one where he's pumping
it's the iconic
and like the
one,
whole crowd
going crazy. Yeah, it'd be dope.
And then the other one was the video that I pulled. That's Phil Collins singing "Take Me Home," and he's in Paris, I think it was,
and
fire. The whole crowd is singing along with him.
That would be fire, dude. Mine would have been Michael Jackson. And then the second one would have been Linkin Park when they were in Texas.
Oh,
and they
right.
Did
that was that big one. Some good shit there. Linkin Park, bro. We were hard on the Linkin Park for a few years.
Well, they're fucking awesome. That's why. God damn.
Few years on that Linkin Park dream. Let's see. I think we've answered this before, but it's always fun to see if we randomly think of something else. What Winston asks, what video game would you like to see adapted into a movie or a TV series?
Yeah.
I'm gonna if you'd go with live action, they add live action CGI animated. If you had like a preference for how it would be done.
I'm gonna go with The Last of Us. I think I said that last time. Maybe
Live action.
Live action.
Okay.
The Last of Us, starring Hugh Jackman.
Mm-hmm.
And you may as well just give me fucking what's her face that plays
Ellen
her?
Page?
Ellen Page. Give me Ellen Page. Just give me.
She still looks like she's 14.
She
so
does. It will
make
work.
it work.
It'll work.
Actually,
you know what? Don't give me Ellen Page. Give me Maisie Williams.
Oh, there you go.
Boom. Maisie Williams and Hugh Jackman.
There you
The
go.
Last of Us.
I'm in for it.
Whew.
I'm in for it.
Come on, Hollywood, make it happen. And if it happens just like that, I want my check.
Let's see. What would I go for? I'm gonna try to say something different than I did last time. But let's go with. Oh man, I think I said Mass Effect last time.
I think you
as
did.
a TV series.
Yeah.
So let's go with. You know what? I still want to see a proper Halo movie.
There you go. Maybe we talked about that. I think a couple weeks ago.
I still think that there has to be an individual on Earth that can use Halo as a fucking like a good movie. That has to be doable, right? Like I can't see how that can't go over at least okay.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just not seeing Master Chief, and I think that's probably a big hurdle for them.
Yeah.
You got to be able to see, like, even some movie like Dread, you still see half of his face. But like, yeah, I mean, I don't know how you do it, but I'm with you. I'd love to see a Halo. I also feel like Halo, I don't know. I feel like if we got a Halo now, it'd just be sort of cheesy. I don't know. I think the time
I think depending on how this next Halo game goes would determine just how interested I would be in seeing somebody adapt it into something else.
Yeah.
Because to this point, it feels like Halo still exists in like 2005.
Yeah.
Or 2004.
Yeah, I saw that today. I saw that on my Facebook today. I don't know if it's true, but Jason Momoa is playing Kratos.
I don't hate it.
Yeah, and it's apparently a Netflix series.
Get him on the juice.
Oh yeah, he's been on the juice.
He doesn't even really need it. He's Samoan.
Samoan. I mean, he's naturally big.
He's
but
naturally juiced.
Adam the Juice, make him the Rock.
Exactly.
I mean,
just for the love of God.
And you know the Rock is on.
If he's gonna have a Kratos, if he's gonna be Kratos with a beard, don't let it be his own beard because that shit's weak.
Yeah.
That shit's weaker than my beard.
It's patchy.
It's bad.
It's patchy.
It's bad.
I'm sure they'd
give him the real deal if you're gonna get him in there. You know who else I wouldn't be completely against being Kratos? Oh, man, my brain today. Drax.
Oh, Dave Bautista.
Dave Bautista.
I just don't know if he's that good of an actor because he's.
Well, what do you do to be Kratos? You get angry and you kill people.
I suppose you're right.
He's not that nuanced of a character.
I suppose you're right. I
mean, the latest game was the closest to a nuanced.
I mean,
Kratos
if I had
to
choose between
Kratos.
Jason Momoa and him, though, I'm picking Jason Momoa every time. But,
sure.
But I'm with you. I mean, I can see it.
Batista looks good bald. I don't know if Momoa looks particularly good bald. I think Batista looks more like a Kratos.
I think if you put Batista in a show like Vikings,
he can also grow a proper beard
and make him a big character in Vikings. I think that would work really well.
Absolutely.
I just think something as big as that, it might be a bit too much for Dave Batista, but I don't know. Maybe
I think he's got it.
Think he's got it?
I think Dave. I mean, like even when we went to go see John Wick, and even that like shitty comedy movie.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's something about him.
It's something about him, right? He even makes shitty, cheesy comedy kind of funny.
Yeah.
Like he pulled that off.
Yeah,
it's just like John Cena does comedy really well.
I'm telling you,
too.
there's something about the WWE stars that go from that into the movies. The ones that are the
ones that are good on the mic.
It's like because they're so charismatic.
Yeah.
That they've been living that persona for so long that they just own it.
Yeah,
it's who they are.
Exactly,
and it comes off on the screen, and it's usually pretty genuine.
Yeah, so they can just nail it. So yeah, either way, there you go. But shout outs to Jason Momoa for just holding it down, doing well. Let's see. Volkus asks, with regards to the new bill being put forth in the U.S. to try and regulate microtransactions and loot boxes, what do you think the odds are for getting it passed? Strangely enough, it seems to have no partisan support. It was proposed by a Republican senator, and 2 Democrat senators have signed into it. What do you think the odds are of that actually going through? in the States?
I think it's pretty slim, honestly. I think it's slim. At least not yet. I think if it's something that, if games keep going the way they're going, I think maybe in 10 years it might be another discussion that has a chance. But I think in the U.S. right now, I don't see it happening. I just don't see it happening, personally. But who knows?
The States is just the land of lobbying.
Yeah.
And
it's too much.
A lot of these companies that are doing the microtransactions and loot boxes have a lot of money to do a lot of lobbying.
Yeah.
So it's slim. It's going to be a lot harder than doing it like they did in Belgium.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
so, like, yeah, it's going to be an uphill battle. If they pull it off, it will be a major victory to be able to have gone through that ringer.
It's not something I would particularly want to see either, honestly. I just think they need to, the way that they deliver it and that those sort of things. I think the companies need to just be a little bit more upfront about what it is, have some sort of blocks in place for people that are underage and say it what it is. Put a warning up there, tell people, and I think that would be suffice.
Get that far, at least.
Yeah, I think that, and then we're golden. Because ultimately people can make their own decisions if they want to do it or not.
Exactly.
But I think it's just you're programming kids to do these things, and that's it's not good.
This came. I have to go back to the previous question because the next question I'm about to ask has sparked it.
All right.
The other thing that I would like to see go back in time, I want to be in the audience. Whose line is it anyway? When Richard Simmons was on the show,
it was a good episode.
Because that episode, if I watch it once a year, makes me cry laughing.
Yeah,
I've seen it like fucking 48,000 times.
It's good,
and it kills me.
Dude, it's a good show.
The Drew Carey almost died.
Yeah.
The crowd
died.
People were just falling out of seats, dead. They were struggling to keep the volume of the crowd off of the lapel microphones of the guys on the fucking stage
because
people were laughing so hard.
It's a good time.
Get me in there. Because the question comes in from Will, says, what game show would you like to most be on? I mean, that's just the PIR, bro. It's Price is Right. What other fucking game show you want to be on? What do you want to be on? Jeopardy?
Yeah, no. Price is Right.
Wheel of Fortune?
Price is Right all day.
Price is Right.
Price is Right all day.
Get me on that.
And not the like cheap, cheesy ones that they bring it to cities where
give me
some
the
random
full experience.
I want the real guy. I want Drew there.
Yes.
Hell, take me back in time. Give me Bob.
Bob Barker's still alive.
I know he is. Dude, I Googled it like a month ago. I'm like, is this motherfucker
He's
dead?
like 93 or something.
He's old as shit. He tried to become a sportscaster.
Yeah.
Apparently he did really well, but they didn't hire him.
Yeah.
And now he just golfs, and he's like half dead.
Yeah.
I think he actually almost died not long ago.
He's Bob Barker. He's a legend.
Fuck.
The dude is a legend. There's a thing on Netflix called like the Perfect Bid or some shit, or the Perfect Bidder or some shit, and it's all about a guy who literally memorized, after watching Price is Right so frequently, he noticed patterns that they were bringing back similar products. He memorized like every fucking version of all the items, and would get into the crowd because he'd go down and watch the shows, he'd get in line up and go to the shows. And then he'd be screaming out bids, and people started noticing that he was right on the money all the time, and people started getting the exact bids. And when they were in contestants row,
and
shit. And then eventually, after years and years, he got on the show.
Oh, and he probably crushed it.
And he fucking crushed it.
Yeah.
But then there was another guy who used the other guy's bids and stuff as well, and got the showcase to the dollar.
Oh, fuck.
Only time ever.
Probably one fucking...
And it was an interesting thing because they were talking about behind the scenes, like what production, and everyone was like...
They're probably like...
When they went because they cut to commercial when they make the bids, right? And so they see the bids, and the girl looks down at her clipboard and goes... and just freaking the fuck out,
You got
right?
the checkbook, guys?
Just running around, and apparently that guy like played it off like he had figured it all out and shit over there. He still doubles down on it and
dude,
shit.
I gotta watch that.
It's interesting.
I gotta watch. You would watch something like that.
Yeah.
No, I gotta watch it.
Oh, it was one of those nights I was laying in bed and I didn't have time for a movie or something crazy long, and I saw it and I was like, oh, I gotta.
So
check
what's
this
it called?
Shit out. I think it's called like the
Perfect Bid,
the Perfect Bid, or the Perfect Bidder, or something like that. Like you should be able to
Google it. I'm gonna watch. I might even watch that tonight.
Yeah, it's not that long, but yeah, it's definitely really an interesting thing to watch.
It's called Perfect Bid.
The Perfect Bid, yeah. And Bob's on there because it's relatively recent. Bob's on there. You get to see him. He does look like death, but he sounds great. It's just his body's just old as fuck. I mean, the dude's old. The dude looked old when he was only in his 40s, for God's sake. So he's just one of those people, looking old. But yeah, it was crazy.
That's cool.
Very interesting to watch. So yeah, Price is Right. What other show are you going to go on? Brain Doc Dre asks, what type of music are you listening to today in 2019? Be honest, K-pop.
God damn.
I mean, I listen to a lot of shit in general. Like I'll bounce from just like club ass like music, like whether it's like house or EDM or dubstep or whatever, if I'm looking for something like that, or glitch hop, or sometimes I'll listen to retro, like new retro wave type stuff as well. I love 80s music. Sometimes I'll go on 90s music binges occasionally as well. Big on some of the older rock bands and stuff. I just recently bought studio remastered lossless audio for Queen albums and just took my interface and cranked it to like the highest possible setting, plugged in my 650s and just creamed my jeans.
There you go.
Stuff like a wide range. Pretty much anything up to 99% of country music, because country music had a turning point where it became dog shit.
It's garbage.
So like I'll listen to Johnny Cash or some shit, but which some people will say isn't even country.
Country, yeah.
And then
He is to me.
he is to me as well. And then I can't stand like hardcore screaming death metal.
I can't even listen to it at all. There's not even a good one.
No, I've never
like the closest
one.
band that I ever liked that did that sort of thing was Alexis on Fire.
Yeah,
that was the closest thing,
and that was like the poppy version.
And that was the poppy version.
So like there's nothing I can't get into, but for me it's K-pop, because the groups and everything, the way the music is done, the fucking pageantry with the music videos and everything, all it does is reminds me of 90s pop music and group bands, and it just brings me back.
I can't do the K-pop,
and honestly, I get why you can't do the K-pop, but for me, man,
and I'm a huge 90s pop fan. In fact, it's pretty much all the music I listen to.
Yeah.
I listen to, like, say Drake or Post Malone has a new album or something, I'll peep that.
Yeah.
I usually peep like any Chris Brown new songs, but I don't listen to that stuff consistently. I listen to literally 90s music. We're talking NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, pop music, R&B, like Brian McKnight, fucking like in my car, the only CD I got in there is Backstreet Boys, Millennium. Yeah. That's it. I don't really listen to much music, because music these days, this day and age for me is pretty shit. I just enjoy the old stuff, man. I like that old shit. I listen to a lot like Celine Dion, and I don't know, man, just Michael Jackson.
Did you hear the new Joyner Lucas and Logic joint?
I did.
What'd you think about that?
I like Joyner a lot.
What do you think about Logic kind of changing his deal up?
I'm not a huge fan of Logic. I bought his first big album, and I enjoyed that, and I bumped that, but he's starting to become...
Is he trying to be a different Joyner Lucas?
I think just on that track, because he's with Joyner Lucas. So like, it's
but he did it before with this track. Came before this one too. Who was he with before the Joyner Lucas bit? It was him and oh shit,
I forget his name. I don't really honestly.
Wait, he did it with M.
Eminem. Yeah,
Eminem.
I think it was Eminem.
Was it M?
No, I know Joyner did Eminem.
Joyner and M did one.
I don't know if Logic and Eminem.
No, it wasn't Logic and Eminem. Fuck, who was it? It was Logic and somebody else. But he also did this shtick with them. It might have even been just his own track that I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I don't know.
Either way, he's kind of been skewing closer to that kind of rap.
I think Logic is becoming a Macklemore, where he's corny as fuck. He's pushing the social. Is he trying
to be something he's not?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's basically it's like watching Ninja become the biggest gamer on Twitch. It's like, you're good at what you do, you're awesome, you're sending a good message, but if
the art is being sacrificed for the commercial purposes.
For the commercial, it's okay, but and I enjoy it from time to time.
Yeah,
but it's not the old Logic.
No,
and the new one is he got his clout on the whole like suicide music, which was a great song, but now he's been riding. Well, his
new shit's not even that.
It's not even that anymore. Like it's like I don't know, bruh.
He's just not
a huge Logic fan. Joyner though.
Joyner's some fire shit though, bro.
He's fucking off, bro.
Damn.
Dude, Tory Lanez. He's a singer.
Yeah.
That motherfucker can rap. Him and if you haven't seen it, him and Joyner had like a rap beef going on. They were dissing each other.
Oh, really?
Dude, you should seriously listen to those tracks they did one after another at each other. Bro. So anyway, I don't really follow this new day and age music all that much. Like I said, Post Malone, I love.
I need Post Malone to do something where he doesn't sound so Post Malone-y, though.
I'm okay with Post Malone still. You know who I got out of? The Weeknd.
He really just made everything sounds exactly the same.
Every goddamn dude. He was like Post Malone on cocaine.
Yeah,
like he juiced. He's a juiced Malone.
Like the thing about The Weeknd was his first couple of albums or whatever. Like he found his sound.
Yeah.
But the problem, I guess, for me is that sound only worked for like one album. I didn't want another album of that sound. And we're still getting
it.
We're
still getting it. You know, I don't mind Weeknd now on features. Like, you know, if he's part of a song.
Because that sound in moderation
is good. But when I'm getting 12 tracks of baby, oh, you know who has been on the come up though, for me that I've been enjoying more and more is Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars is
Bruno's a talented motherfucker.
Bruno Mars was a guy that when he first came out, I was like, okay, there's some good stuff here, but I wasn't really fully feeling him. And then he started creating this like oldie vibe, like 80s,
Uptown
90s.
Funk is still one of my favorite songs.
Man, like a
in the
lot
last
of his
few
songs,
years.
even the Versace song, like the Versace song that he did.
Oh, yeah.
All that shit
was
like it's.
Because he's got that like James Brown.
Yes, he's got and he can do a wide range of shit that all sounds good, and
he's
you're not getting.
He's
talented as fuck. So I'm feeling Bruno too when he comes out with stuff.
Yeah,
but other than that, I'm taking Brian McKnight all day. Just give me some old shit, man. Give me Michael. Give me Brian. Give me some old shit, man. Like I'll watch We Are the World music video 3 times a week.
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck, bro.
Absolutely. You know who I kind of wish wasn't as commercial right now, because I got no shame in this, but I'm down for Ariana Grande music. I'm gonna be real, bro. I'm gonna be real.
I don't hate it.
I'm there for it.
Yeah.
I
don't hate it. She's talented.
She
as
is
fuck
a talented
too.
fucking.
She's talented.
It's almost like watching Lady Gaga, knowing that there is an honest to god vocalist back there.
Yeah.
But you know that she has to do this over here.
She reminds me of Christina Aguilera a lot. If Christina,
she's like
a better Christina Aguilera.
Yes, exactly.
Because Christina Aguilera was super talented and is still super talented, crazy vocal range, but just did the same poppy garbage like Britney Spears, like her and Britney Spears. Ariana Grande, she's unique. She does have those poppy songs, but you know what? Some of them are actually. It's kind of like Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber is a fire artist too and super talented.
Yeah.
And I guess the older he gets,
bit of a fuck boy, but
I think he's going to be the next Justin Timberlake, and Justin Timberlake fell off big time too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fuck Justin Timberlake.
Well, he went away to go do a bunch of other shit, and he just got rusty when he came back. It just wasn't the same.
Yeah, don't say that too loud with Team Regime around because he'll fucking lose his goddamn mind. But yeah, I'm not really feeling JT, but I'm feeling Biebs. I mean, Bieber's got some talent.
I'm feeling all of M's new shit. Has been
Eminem's been on point lately.
He just went back to writing like lyricist shit that a lot of people would just be like, this ain't it.
Well, I think we've been getting so much non-lyricist shit for the last 5 years that now that Eminem's coming back and he's like showing the boys how it's done, people are like, wow, something that's not what we're getting.
Dude,
thank you.
The Lucky You with Joyner Lucas is one of the most fire.
It's one of the best songs
tracks
I've heard in
a long time.
Very long. One of the best rap tracks in recent memory.
I did need whoever mastered that to take the high end and maybe just knock a little off of that shit because Joyner could not possibly pierce my ears anymore in that fucking track if he tried. And it's not even like they're like high-pitched vocal guys either. They're like pretty deep-voiced dudes in general, and then all of a sudden you're hearing it, and it's like everything exists in the 6 to 18K range. It's like nothing exists down here. It's like, fuck it, cram them way the hell up on the other end of it. But yeah, music, it's hit or miss today, but you can find some good shit out there.
All right, one more.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see here.
One more.
Where are we on the list?
No, I'm way off, but I'm just trying to. I'm starving, dude. I'm hungry.
Oh, there you go.
And I want to get some food.
I feel that.
It's fucking 7 o'clock. God damn.
Hey man, when you're talking, it's on fire. You just keep the dream going, bro.
All right.
You can't stop the fire once it starts. You fuel it. And Nora is asking. This is more, I guess, for me. So if I don't take too long with this, I'll squeeze one quick one in. If you were in No Pixel, what would be your prerogative? I guess he's actually asking what my character would be. What would be the defining characters of your character if you need help? There's an example. Don't give a fuck about nothing and pretend to be... Oh, yeah, okay, get you. So, I mean, here's the thing. When Jeff was first thinking about getting into RP, I came up with a list of some of the most hilariously insane fucking concepts for characters. And that's because Jeff is an entertainer and a bit of an actor and can do voices and everything else. So I know he can do whack shit, just crazy nonsense.
Oh, thank you, Adam.
That's because that's Jeff's natural God-given talent is being retarded for money.
Well, they're that whole thank you, fuck you, just fuck off.
But intentionally retargeting.
I know what you're saying.
That's not me. So even a little bit, like not an ounce, not even a little bit. So literally my character was just like, the concept of my character is stupid, but the actual play out of my character is just whatever. So like my character was going to be an ex black market maple syrup runner. The last heist went horribly wrong, and he's on the run from the Mounties, and he's jumped countries trying to get away, trying to start a new life. And he's noticing that all the maple syrup in the United States sucks balls, and he needs to bring the glory of real maple syrup to the Americas. And so he wants to start up his own maple syrup chain. The problem is
there's no maple syrup. There's no maple syrup in the game.
He needs the money, but well, the idea is not for that. Like that's just the story. So. In order to do this, all he's good at is driving as a runner. So he's a substandard Uber driver to try and save up money to create his empire.
Okay.
And he's just slightly, and all it is, it's me putting on like a thicker East Coast accent and turning the Canadianisms just a little bit.
It's a Canadian.
And then just living in that realm, and and that's the show.
Okay.
But the problem with that character is nobody really relies on drivers 99% of the time.
No.
So I'd have to come up with some other like fucking gig. But the thing about a lot of characters is that the characters are just there, and then rarely does the actual like character background really enter into the equation. You're an exception because your character is literally like a person trying to break into music and writing music at the same time. But a lot of the other characters are just, they're like, my character's a drug dealer and my character's a police officer, and except for a couple like Uchi and some of the guys doing awesome. Like some really crazy obscure shit.
Yeah.
So many of them are just kind of
there's some really unique characters, but then there's also the characters that are just cut and dry. Like,
and that's just me. Like I'm not an actor. I don't do voices and shit. I do, like we talked about this before. I do one voice and it devolves into Deckard Cain. Like there's no voice. So that's all I had. But I don't expect to see me on that shit possibly ever, because Jeff with higher and higher prio as the weeks go on, he's still at 14 right now.
Queue for
3 hours deep. Yep. Into this podcast. Yeah. So like me with 0 prio, even though I'm whitelisted, I'm at like the $30 dono there. If
I think eventually they're gonna plan to make the slots bigger. So maybe when that happens, you'll be able to get into one of the servers if they have them up.
Like a 14-hour wait instead of a 17-hour wait.
Yeah, why not?
It just turn it a little bit.
It's okay.
Okay, this is like good last one.
All right,
Mr. Miyagi. If you could live the life of any of the characters in Game of Thrones, which character would you choose and why?
Ooh. Which character would I choose and why?
I'm going Tormund, bro.
Damn. Yeah, that's a good one.
I mean, he fucked a giant, apparently, drank some titty juice, and lived through the whole show and did nothing but be a badass. And at worst, he was a lovable character. Everyone liked the guy. He just didn't knock it out of the park with Brienne. That's like literally the only downside for Tormund.
I'm gonna go with shit. I'm gonna go with Tyrion.
That's a rough go.
It's a rough go, but I feel like I don't think I'd be a good fighter. Like I don't think I'd have what it takes to be like a Tormund or even a Jaime Lannister or something. But I feel like I could be a good talker. I could talk my way out of some shit. Plus, he got a lot of pussy. He liked to drink, so we had some fun.
He did drink copious amounts of wine.
Yeah.
In that show.
And he was still associated with power. So yeah, I'm probably gonna go with Tyrion. That's my dude.
I
was gonna pick Littlefinger, but He gets fucked up.
Man, he does get.
He gets fucked up bad.
He does get fucked up.
And I'm not like that. I'm not that type of conniving person either. So like,
you know who I kind of liked? I really liked his character, even though he was only part of the show for a short time too. Was the Lord Commander before John became Lord Commander and got his sword? And I can't remember his name, but he was the older guy. He was a big motherfucker.
Oh yeah. I know who you're talking about. He gets killed, right?
He gets killed, but yeah, great. I loved his character. I thought he did well. I'd go for that too.
All right.
I'd go for that too. I'd go out big.
All right. There you go.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you for the super chat that came in, whoever that was.
Yeah, thank you for that super chat. That was
Daniel.
Daniel. Appreciate that, boss. Instead of Uber, a getaway driver. Well, essentially that's what it would be. It's just, for the cops, I'm an Uber driver.
There you go.
It's like, I'm not technically. I'm just here.
Could be a tow truck driver. They're
Uber.
always needed.
But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's another Technical Alpha in the bag. Patreon.com/LagTV. To go and join there and help us out if you want to join the community and financially support the podcast, the show, and everything else we do at Lag TV, basically. YouTube.com/Life'sAGlitchTV too for the clips for the podcast. Go and hang out there if you don't want to always have time, or you don't have time for that shit. You can check out the clips and share them with others, which we appreciate everyone continuing to do.
I need a shave.
I was at the barber yesterday and got my face and beard all redone.
I need to get it all. I need to work on all of this.
Yeah, it's good times. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you guys next week. Same time, same bat channel. And until we do, stay safe and peace.